Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Well.
Good morning.
Good. Oh, wait, hold on. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm cold again.
It
I'm
is.
cold every morning lately. Oh, la, 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 la. I actually brought down from the attic a heater yesterday. Heater. That's
Oh,
my
You won't
knee.
need it today. It'll be 81.
Really?
Pneumonia
didn't-
weather.
No way. How's that possible?
I
Why is it so
know.
cold this morning? I am cold. I'm cold. I was looking, I usually have a little blanket that I put on my knees when I'm cold and I can't find it. So I'll just be cold. All right, go into the chat, you guys, and do your little sign in.
did I hear a dog in the background?
Yeah.
The dog saying good morning too.
Whenever was it yesterday? I was doing a pretty hearty hello to people who were coming into my evening class. And he started barking like when people arrived to the house. He was convinced people were showing up to the house. It's just on the computer. It's okay. You don't need to start barking. But yeah, he hears me saying, he gets excited when people show up. So he starts going,
What,
so
what
now I'm
kind-
not being so excited. What kind? Pound mutt. He's adorable. He doesn't have a case. Probably part Pomeranian, part border collie.
Ah.
Beautiful.
Ah.
Very hairy, very hairy. And it's telling you how much I need to vacuum. It's not funny. Okay, letting people in. Here we go. Good morning. Good morning, Doran and Patricia, Vera, Marcia, Jeannie, Julie, Sarah, and Charmaine. So head over to the chat and sign in. And as you might know from the email that I sent yesterday, today is our last intro to the Mac class. So what you need to do is make sure that if you want to continue taking these classes, that you are registered for the next one. Okay. Otherwise, on Monday, there is no more class. All right. Since the class is full though, if you want to register, you need to send me a form that I sent out yesterday, and it needs to be signed by me. So you need to fill it out and then send it back to me, and then I have to forward it to admissions. Otherwise, they don't let people in when the class is full. Okay. So there you go.
Can you remind me, Deanna,
Mhm.
what your
Yeah.
third level, second level is? Not next week, but I've signed up for next week, but the third level or the third session?
It's enter the Mac level 2.
Right.
You mean when it is?
No, what
Oh.
is included? Because I didn't sign up. My recall was it was more for the iPhone, which I don't have. And
Oh, no, not at all. In fact, it's I've begun to put more iPhone stuff in here just because because of all the
Yeah.
iCloud and all that.
Sure.
But in fact, it's me forcing it in.
Yeah.
It's all the apps. It's the computer apps. It's, when you go to the dock and you have mail and all the apps that are on the dock right now. Let me look and see which ones I have in this one. I teach you how to use the mail, calendar, messages,
okay, I'll go ahead and sign up for the session.
notes,
I think you
the stuff that's on the book, but all the apps.
Okay,
Next
I'll
week
go
it's a
ahead
lot
and sign
more.
up.
Next week it's a lot more about file management. Next class, and then how do you some of that involves some of these apps too, but for the most part, where I really focus on the apps is on MacOS level 2.
Okay, so I'll sign up for that one because you still got space in that one, right?
I do. For right now, it's easy to sign up for the third one. once that one gets filled up, which by the time I'm
Yeah.
done
Okay.
with these classes, it probably will, then it'll become a problem to sign up again. So yeah, everyone who knows they're gonna go be in it for the next class and the following class, go ahead and sign in to, not sign in, register.
Yeah.
Sign up. Thank you. Sign up for the next one.
Okay.
I don't have the CRN in front of me and someone has it. I believe I
Um,
sent it out yesterday too.
Yeah,
or
I
never mind.
have it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's one number more than whatever the other one is.
Right.
I'm having eye allergies again today. Okay. So guys, I left you on Monday practicing how to work with notifications. Those of you who have a phone might not even notice, but you already have notifications happening, which is, where on the screen of your phone, you get a little message that says you received a text, received a message, or you received a, there's an alarm or those kind of things that you might have not set it up. By default, they show up for you on your phone. Does everyone know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
You look at your phone, you have those that's the notifications for the phone, but they're much more visible and much more available. They just pop up when we pick up our phone and we open it. There's the notifications of things that maybe, if like I have calendar appointments and it tells me, oh, remember you have to do this or that. On the computer, it's a little bit more hidden and you have to go and open it yourself. Has anyone changed any of those notification settings after we went and played with that on Monday? Did anyone find any setting that they wanted or didn't want, liked or didn't like? Yeah, not really. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to put this over here.
Jen, I'm just letting you know that I don't have a chat box showing at the bottom of my screen right now. So I can't really sign in. And I don't know why it isn't showing, but it's not.
Well, let me see. I'm going to write something in it. I'm going to say hello myself. And then did you see something appear? Oh, I
Yeah,
wrote to
now
the waiting
something
now.
appeared. Now it appeared.
Oh, I wrote hello. Hello. So wherever you see it appearing, that's where your chat is. Okay, thanks, Marcia. All right, so this notifications center, all it does is allow you to choose when to get bugged by things or not. And where I got this from, remember, is the system preferences. So the reason I'm sharing the entire Windows is I wanted to show you again, because I showed you a little bit of the notification center on Bill's computer, which was Big Sur. Big Sur. Where is that? Here is what it looks like on Catalina. And in Catalina, or even Mojave, like anything older than Big Sur, because this one's the same for older computers. I don't know El Cap. Sarah and Bill, do you have notifications in El Cap? I don't.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You do.
Yes.
No, that's fine. And I think it looks pretty similar. Like they didn't change much until now in Big Sur. So it used to have today and notifications. Now, as we saw yesterday or 2 days ago with Bill's, it was only one, right?
I'm going
And-
to recheck and see right now.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, Sarah, you also have big El Cap. So do you see this little icon over here that pulls up the notifications? I just don't remember if it was there as far as El Cap, but for sure for anyone else up until Catalina, it's this way. Anyway, so what are these things showing us? It's showing us either notifications, which is specifically the banners of things that we want to that things that just showed up. And so in this case, I have reminders. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. I'm so glad I'm showing you this today because this is my niece. And so today's her birthday. So I'm getting a reminder, and that's in my calendar app. If you use your calendar apps, you can set up reminders for people's birthdays. I've got some texts here from my family. I guess I sent them some pumpkin image that we carved last night, and they're all like, "Ooh, how cute." So this is just from 14 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago. Over there is telling me how long ago. This is a text that I got last night. So anyway, these are all texts that I just got, and the decision of having these show up here or not was made over here in the system preferences, where if I went to messages, I told it that I wanted to get banners and I wanted them to show in the notification center. Okay. And I also want to go to my app and have a little badge. So if I go to my messages, I just received 9 texts. I don't get too many texts, but I just happened to send this morning before class when I woke up. I sent the little pumpkin image that we just spent last night carving. And that's a little like family group chat that we have. And so everyone's like, nice, 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 nice. It's just that's all it is. But I got 9 of them. And so when I, in my messages, chose to show a badge, that's why I get a little number there. And here where I said show in notification center, that's when I click over here, I see them over here. Does that make sense, you guys? Now, if I also say show on lock screen or show the preview, then I also get a teensy little badge popping up right here that looks like that, so to say, but it just pops up in the middle of me doing stuff. I see a little bing and then it disappears. Okay, it goes away automatically. That's a banner. I just, oh, something got here and I check it. Sometimes it's from school saying kids today have short day. Remember that they'll be home, 2 hours earlier. And I'm working and I'll just see it and I'll go, okay, and I'll keep working. Like there's no need to do anything about it if it's a banner. If I don't want to see them as they pop in, then I would say none. If I wanted them to stay on, because I want to pay attention to them, I would say alert. If I choose alert, then it stays in there until I actually say dismiss, go, snooze, or whatever it is that I need to say to it. That's an alert, okay? So for messages, I just want a little banner. Does that make sense, you guys? That now, and you can go up and down and say that to whatever. So I have the mails set up in the exact same way. My mail gives me a banner, it shows it down to me. And when I look over here, I just checked my mail this morning, so I don't have any new mail because nothing has arrived since before this class till now. So I don't have anything new. Okay. So that's how, and then, so if something is bugging you, you don't want to see so much, then you just turn it off. If I say do not show, no, let me see messages. If I say do not show in notification center, if I go back to my notifications right now, see how all those messages are not there? And if I say show in notification center, when I go back, there they are. So that's as easy, that's how easy it is to control or not what you get in your notification center. Remember where I am is in the system preferences, notifications, which on Big Sur looks like a little bell. And this is what it looks like in Catalina. And then you click on this furthest right, top rightmost icon. And that's where you're going to choose what to see or not. That's under notifications. Now for Catalina, it's still 2 tabs, today and notifications. But for Big Sur, it's just 1, right? But you still handle it from the same spot. The notifications looks the same. Now, today, on the other hand, is one where I get to choose what widgets and apps I want to see. So in this case, at the very top, I have chosen to see my calendar, which is set up here because of a choice I made. Same with weather in different places. This is a sample stuff that I put in here. Then I have some stocks. Then here, kind of looking ahead at my calendar and saying there's nothing there. Now, what you get here you can choose to change, right? So you can choose to change that. And this is the same for Big Sur. Down at the bottom, you have a little icon or the word edit. Actually, I don't know if it's exactly the same. Do you see this at the bottom of yours, Big Sur people? At the bottom of your notifications, do you see a little edit? You have to, if you scroll down. Someone's phone is ringing. Any Big Sur person? If you go to the bottom of yours, do you see a little edit or do you see a little gears icon here?
Yes, the Big Sur has it at the bottom.
Okay, so then let's hit edit. And here's where you can choose what you want to have available. So say that I don't want to see my stocks. I can go to stocks and see how now this opened up. These are items I could have in here. And this is now what I was seeing. So I can turn off the stocks or I can turn off the weather. And I can see the calculator. So I can go over here and say, I want to see my calculator. And I turn on my calculator. So I can have my calculator handy. Or I can turn off my calendar and I want to have my reminders up. If you use the reminders app, I'm going to turn off my reminders and I'm actually going to have a world clock. I call my mom all the time. I want to set it up with a couple of clocks so that I'll know what time is good to call her. I think I'm going to bring the calendars back because that's easy. So I can choose, see what it is that I want to have in here of the basic set of stocks that come, widgets that comes up. If I want more, there's more. There's more choices. Is it working for anyone? Are you choosing what you want? Do you have a question before I show you more? I want to make sure that this part is happening for you guys. I had to go down to the edit. And when I did the edit, is it showing up very differently on the Big Sur perchance?
Yes, it is. And when I eliminated one of the widgets, the new edit did not put it back.
Okay, so I'll over here on the right side, you don't have a plus sign. I'll have you share yours in a second so that you can show me how it is. Let me just show a little bit more in Catalina because half the class is on Catalina really quick. So say that I want more widgets than this, right? I can go over, like, I want to I remember I had a translator here once or something like that. I can go into the App Store. Well, this here, this little far right thing closes us up again. And then I have to go to edit again and see, I go to the App Store and it takes me straight to where there are some widgets and they're free. So maybe I want to have, maybe I use the to-do list, or maybe I use, I want to check out, keep a battery monitor, exchange rates. I used to have a little translator. I could have some other calculators and stuff like that. Okay, so unit converter, maybe that, oh, they're not all free. This one's not free. These are free. Oh, thank you. Oh, my husband just brought me my coffee. Anyway, so you can choose to buy a few more. Now the App Store has to be set up with your iCloud. I know a few of you didn't have your iCloud account. Okay, I'm going to close the App Store for a minute. And I'm going to go back here and close it. Oh, it closed itself. And now I'm going to stop my share. And can one of you guys, Bill again, or someone else, share your Big Sur screen for notifications? And then I'm going to move on to something else. I just wanted to finish that up that I hadn't completely finished up the other day.
Deanna, I was wrong. It works fine.
Oh, okay. Can you still share your screen for a minute so that I can
Sure.
show how
Yes.
the slight differences, and
Sure.
then after that we'll move on. So you get to have, thank you. So do you mind if I take over your screen for a second?
Go right ahead.
Request remote control. Okay, great. So this that I'm gonna, let me just close this one. Okay, so this is his notification center where he makes choices, and to access the notifications on the Big Sur, you click up here where you have the date and this pops up. So it's much less intrusive, right? It's, in this case, it's just the calendar where he doesn't have any events in his calendar. So it's a spot, it's got the date, the world clock. See, I didn't show you how to change the world clocks, but how do you change? How do you add clocks? The stocks. And if you want something different, you hit edit widgets, right? And over here is where you can choose maybe to put something else in here. Now, let's say that you want a quick access to your notes, for example, and you can put that one in, and you can choose to put it small, medium, or large. So say that you want to see your, or your clocks, you want to see them bigger. So right now they're small. What if I choose to see them medium? So then you'll get to see them in a bigger size. Okay. Calendar, say that you want to see the large version and it's showing you the entire version of the day. So I'm going to say done. And oh, when I go back, oh, it's not showing me the bigger version. Oh, I need to, when I say large, okay, so I need to actually say plus to move the large version of the calendar over. Okay, and then I can say close to the small version of the calendar. Okay, I'm not going to change that for you because I want you to make your own choices. Now I'm going to turn that off. And if you want the big version of the clock like that, then you have to say plus, and then you can get the small version of the clock that you can get rid of. Okay, so now if I say done, now you've got the big version of the clock. Now it's not like it's there all the time, it's when you click. But instead of having to click on it again, you see your 4 clocks at the same time. I'm going to edit that again just to leave it the way you had it, which is I'm going to go to the clock and put only the small version and the. No, you didn't have this one. Sorry, you had this one, but in small. That's
Doesn't
the one
matter,
that you
it's
had.
fine. I'll change it back.
Got it, got it. So anyway, just trying to put this stuff. So you can put maybe if you listen to podcasts, right? Then you can have, this is where it gets cool. If you listen to podcasts all the time and you want to listen to one in particular all the time, you can click over here, any podcast that you do listen to, then you can put this one in there. And oh, I didn't put it in. I clicked on the wrong side. It's hard when you're controlling the other person's computer. The things don't click the same as when it's your own. So now he can have it handy, or you can check the news all the time from here. And if you like to see the news a lot, then if you really like to see it a lot, you go in large and then you put it in there. Okay, so on and so forth. Then you say that you're done. And now when, instead of having to go all the way into your browser, when you want to just check a little bit on the news, sorry, I opened your calendar for you, then you just kind of click in there and you get to see what the biggest of the news. And if you think, oh, this is really interesting, let me actually read this, you'll click on that and it's going to open up the actual news. I'm going to not make any decisions for you, so I'm going to close it up, but without making decisions, so that you can I'll just say don't allow, and you choose
Right.
whether you want to allow it or not. Okay, so that's how you would change that. And if you make decisions about want to show in your notification center, when you get a badge or something, a text or something like that, it would show up in there too. All right. Any questions before I start?
Pretty basic.
the
Does the
screen.
word banner, badge mean text?
No, a badge is that if you got a text, a badge will be a little round. So I can't pull up your mouse. Can you pull your dock? Can you pull your dock up, please? When I'm holding someone else's computer, there's things I can't do. Okay, so you don't seem to have any, but so let me show it to you on mine. I'm going to stop your sharing and I'm going to show you again my screen. A badge is this, that in my dock, I get a little circle, a round circle telling me I got 9 texts. That's a badge. This
Oh,
does
oh.
not have a badge. This has a badge, okay? That little number 9. Now, what would it take for this to go away? I actually would have to read that text. So if I open my texts and click on that, so I'm going to open my texts, and actually it ended up on the other side. So here's my texts. Here's the image I sent this morning, and all these people said, "Oh, beautiful, have fun," yada yada yada. Now, when I close my text, when I go back, see how it only says 6? Because it was 9 before, and now it's down to 6, because that one text that 3 people liked, I have just read. Now there's others I haven't read that my son sent me or stuff, and so it still says 6. So you need to actually open the app and read that text, or even read it on your phone. It doesn't matter, because it marks it as read, and when you get back here, it's considered read. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Hi, Debbie
Yeah.
from New York City. Debbie is joining us from New York. Yay. Hopefully it's not raining. I heard it was raining yesterday. Anyway,
A lot of rain and some people didn't have power. Okay,
so
thank you.
you're welcome. So those red indicators on our dock, that's what a badge is. Okay, and you can have them on your phone as well. If I look at my dock here, let me share my phone screen with you. So here's my phone. And if you can see down here at the bottom left, let me put the spotlight on. You see how down here on my bottom left, my messages app still says 6. Okay, so that's the badge telling me what it is that I need to do. And the notification center here, you go to settings and you go to notifications right there. And same thing, you tell it what you want and what you don't want. So if I go to my messages right there, messages is the text app. I have it set up that I want to get a notification on my lock screen. So when I open up my phone, before I unlock it, it already says text from someone. So that's my little alert. I also want to have it in the notification centers. If I scroll up and down, I'll see them. And I also want a little banner saying, "Oh, you got a text." See, I don't use text as much as most people do, and I tend to not answer them too well. And so I have them completely set up for me so that it alerts me that something arrived. Now you can choose what kind of banner. Mine is temporary, so it just kind of comes and goes away. See that? Versus the persistent, which is the one that until you pay attention to it, it bugs you, it bugs you, it bugs you. I don't want that. I just want to see it flash by and that's it. Okay, so that's how you get to choose. A lot of people think that, you know, if something, oh God, I had said the other day, remember I said the other day with you guys, have something tell me the time. Now I have something every 15 minutes going, it's 9:30. Just comes into my headsets. So you can choose just about everything that happens, just about everything that happens on the phone or on the computer, and set it to your liking. So if anyone feels like, oh, I'm getting this all the time, or I'm getting that all the time, for the most part, you have control over that. Okay, so if any of you guys has anything like that that you are that's bugging you, please let me know. And if it's changeable, I can show you how to change it. Okay, I'm going to stop this share and head back to the desktop. All right. So that's it for now for notifications. Is there that anything? It's as much as I want to share. Based on what I shared, you can move on and keep changing things on your own. Is there anything else? Any other questions about? I guess what I did set a sort order by recents or by app or by map. Anything else you guys want?
Deanna,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
get this notification saying that my computer needs to be backed up. And so I'm wondering where that's coming from. Is that set up somewhere?
It occurs to me that you set up a time machine at some point. and that you don't have your time machine connected. We will be talking about this in OS level 2. But this time I'm going to do it at the beginning. I'm going to set up the time machine so that we have all class. Usually I kind of wait, but it's been happening too late in the class to get questions about it. So I'm going to do it a bit earlier, but yeah, time machine is a way to back up your computer that if you didn't set it up correctly, then it never, but if you don't have it set up, it doesn't bug you. But if you did at some point set it up and then stopped, then since it's supposed to back up, it'll keep telling you, you haven't backed up, you haven't backed up, you haven't backed up, you haven't backed up. Is that the kind of notification you're talking about?
Yeah, and I think, I inherited the computer, so apparently
Oh,
somebody set it up and then,
okay. So what you need to do right now, yes, you have to back it up, but you can't back it up without having a hard drive. I'll teach you that in level 2. Hopefully you'll be with us until then. But for now, go to time machine and uncheck that. And that it'll stop because it'll stop when, and this is only for her. If you guys have time machine set up, do not uncheck this. You want your machine to back up. But if you don't have it set up, remember she got a computer given to her, and instead of cleaning it up and starting it as her own, she's just using that computer set up. And so she has all the settings from before. So one of these would be that. So did you unclick that? Go to time machine and check this off. Turn that off. Can't hear you. I can't hear you. I know you're talking.
okay, here we go. Is it under system preferences, time machine?
Yes.
Okay.
System preferences down over here. Time machine. It looks like this little backwards clock. Did you find it?
I didn't. I'm on El
Hmm.
Cap and I don't see it on here.
Oh, time machine has been around forever. Look around, it might be in some other spot, but it's always been down here in this ish area.
Notes, photos, reminders, Safari, no.
System preferences, the fact that you're reading the word Safari, it shouldn't be there. Do you want to share your screen?
Sure.
Stop my share. And you can share yours.
Okay.
Okay, so head up, because you're in the notification center of your time machine. So you need to go to the main area. This is just of your system preferences. So in your notifications, go up to the top where you see the word notifications way at the top. No, notification, this gray
here.
thing, yeah. Up, keep going up, move your mouse up to the title bar of this whole window.
Oh, I
Keep
see.
going up 2 more inches, one more inch, there, that little button, one down, a little bit down. And that button, yeah, click on that button. This, yeah, click.
It says stop video.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, you have the Zoom thing in the middle. Can you move your system preferences around a little bit? Can you go,
Oh,
do you
wow.
see it to the right? Do you see a search to the right on this whole window? No. What you can do is you can grab that black thing that says stop video and grab it from the black area and move it over a little bit. The zoom bar, you can just drag it over. That
Okay.
don't say, or you know what? Let's stop the video for a second here. Let's do this. Stop your share. Grab that window, bring it down on your screen, and then share your screen again. So then you'll see this whole window. Grab the notifications window from the top where it says notifications. Put your mouse on the gray bar. That'll allow you to move it down and then share your window again.
I don't see the notification. Oh,
Does that make sense what I'm?
I've got the gray bar that says notifications.
Yeah, click from some place where it's just gray without the word and then just drag it down
Okay.
so that the bar, okay, and now share your screen again. That way that you don't have that in the way. You don't have the Zoom stuff in the way.
Okay.
It's hard because when people share their screens, Zoom doesn't share itself. And so she can't see what I'm seeing, but because she has this thing in the way. And there we go. Okay, so now you see the notifications. All right, so now move it up a little bit more so we can see the whole box, but not, okay, good. So now over on the left of notifications, there's that button. It's called the waffle button that has all those little dots. Yeah, that's the one. Click on that one. So
Okay.
this brings you back to the general notifications. So all of these notifications, all of these things, every time you click on them. So go back to notifications, click again there where you see that red dot. That brings you in here. And now you go back to the home, which is that little button with all the icons. Go up again a little bit, and click there. That shows you there, right? Cool. Now, in this main one, this is the main window. Now you get to go down to time machine, which is, you see it's down there at the bottom,
Yes,
bottom.
there it is. Yeah.
There you go click on time machine
Okay.
and then turn that off. So instead of a checkbox, you have to just click that thing that says on. Yeah. And turn off. There you go.
Okay.
So the last time this was backed up was in 2017. And
Yeah.
it's been bugging someone to back up ever since. So now and next, when we talk about this in our class in OS level 2, I'll teach you how to set up your own backup. Okay. Now
Okay.
go back to the go back to the main system preferences. Up to the, yeah. And there you go. Now you're set up. Cool. So I'm going to stop your share. There you go.
Okay.
All right. You're welcome. Okay, guys. So now you have a pretty good idea of what's, let me share my screen again. Of what's up here on the top right. I've been showing you all these little icons. Right next to the notification center, you have, or to the right or to the left, somewhere over here, you'll have this round dark button, and that's Siri. So I'm gonna, if you have Siri turned on, it's unfortunately clicking it only in my headset, so you're not hearing it. But when I click on this little guy, right? Siri, my computer pops, it becomes available. Okay. I'm gonna have to, you know what? I'm gonna have to share a different screen where you guys can see this happening. Hold on, let me share the screen where this happens, which is this screen, because I was showing you a secondary screen, not my main screen. Okay, so let me show you this again. Here's Siri. So Siri, have you ever, how many of you have used Siri before? Raise your hand or give me a thumbs up or something. Siri is when you either tell your computer or your phone to do something for you verbally. So you say, hey Siri, what's the weather today? Or hey Siri, what's this, what's that? And I'm saying it really quietly because the moment I say it, my phone immediately wants to give me an answer. See, my phone already turned on because the keywords are the HEY and the word Siri. And then and I have to just say it that way because the moment I say HEY Siri, my phone is like, what do you want? What do you want? It's sitting there asking me, right? So I have it set up. So here's my phone, right? If you can see the little window, I've got my phone. I say, hey Siri, what's the weather today?
It's currently clear and 21 degrees.
Okay.
Today's high will be 24 degrees and the low will be 16.
Are you guys hearing that?
Yes.
I don't know if you guys could hear that. Now,
Yes.
the fact that it says 29 degrees because I know that you guys I sound American. I have been here for hundreds of years, but the one thing I still don't get is temperature in Fahrenheit. It just makes no sense to me. I don't think I've mentioned it, and some of you guys might not have known me from before, but I'm from Argentina and temperature just doesn't work for me in Fahrenheit. So my temperature is still set up in centigrade. So I just said, hey Siri, what's the temperature today?
The high for today will be 24 degrees and the low will be 17.
So that's my phone answering me back. Okay. Now that's because I have my phone set to be triggered by the words, hey Siri. I could have the computer set up that way too. I don't. In the computer, I don't have it set up to trigger to my voice. And then I have it triggered by clicking. So I'm going to click on this little icon and I'm going to say, what time is it?
I don't know what you mean by, hey Siri, icon of the computer.
Now my phone's getting all confused. Did you guys see that?
You're not showing your screen.
I am. Oh, you didn't see anything pop up here on the top, right? I am sharing the screen, but it might be considered a pop-up, so it might not be showing it. So I am sharing my screen right now. You guys don't see my screen?
No.
All I see is your
I see your
island.
screen, but not your pop-up.
Okay, so when I click on this thing, do you see a pop-up, a banner here on the right? You don't see anything here?
No,
Oh,
I
You're
don't.
not seeing anything happening on the top right of my screen?
no.
No, and I'm not sure which little icon.
Yeah,
I'm
so
clicking to
let
get
me see if
Siri.
I can share that little teensy window, pop-up window. Okay, so maybe you have me, you know what, maybe here on the far right, you probably have the Zoom. You probably have the Zoom windows in the way. Okay, so let me just tell you where to look. The same place where we were looking at notifications, I'm gonna put the spotlight on. When I click on this little icon, that's Siri, a little box is opening up here right in the banner center for me. And you might not be seeing mine, but can you go click on yours and see if you see a little bot popping up in your banner center? If so, now you can speak to it and tell it what time is it or what's the weather today. Go ahead and give it a try. Is that working for you or not?
It asked, how can I help you or something like that.
Yeah, so when you first click on that, it says, what can I help you with? And you can say, well, what's the temperature today?
What's the temperature today?
And it just showed me the entire temperature for Santa Barbara for all the days, highs and lows. And the high is going to be 70, not 80, according to this thing. But did it work for you guys at all or not?
Yes, it worked for me.
I'm getting lots of staring faces. And so I just want to make sure you know what we're talking about. Joanna, you can be doing Hey Siri on just like I did on the phone. Have you tried it?
Yes, thank you. I have. Siri is the only thing I'm familiar with right now.
Oh, hopefully by now you're familiar with a little bit more than just that, but yeah.
Yes, I'm
Um,
learning. Thank you.
So I don't have that little icon at the top of the screen. Is it? because
Oh, okay, so
Mikhail
2012 Capitan does not have Siri.
Okay,
I
That
should have said that
explains-
from the beginning. I forgot. I keep forgetting. Oh my God. Capitan does not have Siri. It came after.
Okay.
So,
but my new computer, when I get it, will. Yes.
okay.
Okay.
So now I'm showing you, let me show you my system preferences then. I'm showing you my system preferences again. Over here, you can control Siri. Okay. So head back to system preferences. Maybe you're still in notifications. Maybe you're somewhere else. I'm going to go here. Let me share only my system preferences window now. Here we go. And here you can control Siri. So I'm going to click here on Siri and I got to clear my drawings and put my mouse on spotlight. Here we go. So I'm going to click on Siri and here you can enable Ask Siri, means that you can talk to your computer and go, hey, I'm going to make a noise in between and then I'll say the word Siri so it doesn't turn on. If you enabled it, then when you say those words to your computer, it turns on and it waits for you to ask it something like, you know, I just said this simple, what's the temperature, what's the day, but you can ask it things like, what does color calibration mean? And it pulls up an article from the internet. Or what does, get me a recipe for apple strudel, and it pulls up a recipe from the internet. Like you can ask it to do things for you. You can say, send a text to someone and boom, 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 you dictate the text and it sends. So if you're driving, suddenly I'll remember that I need to text my husband, can you check if we have milk in the refrigerator? I'll just be driving and I'll go say, hey, that person. And it'll ask me, what do you want? And I'll say, send a text to Jack is there milk in the refrigerator? And it'll say, okay, here's the text that you want it. Is it ready? And I'll say, yes, send, and boom, it sends. And I didn't have to do anything but talk to my phone and a text got sent, right? If you want to do that here on the computer, you can do that as well. I find that I don't need an Ask Siri by sound, okay, personally on the computer, because I can type, but because I'm sitting here typing, but I do use it on my phone. So here's where you can bring it, you can decide now. My son once changed my voice to a British male, so I have this very butlery kind of person asking me what I need, which I think is funny, but the typical sound is American female. I much prefer my British butler to do my. This is off. Okay, if you turn it on, then you'll see that little circle appear in the menu bar. That's where you turn it on and off. So I just would like you guys to test it, to just know what's available in your computer. By the way, are you seeing? I'm going to share my general screen. Are you? Oh, the moment I shared it, it stopped. I hate it that banners don't share themselves. I guess because they do. It makes sense. Okay. I know now why you weren't seeing my Siri. Anything that's a banner doesn't show itself. So right now I had 3 banners here reminding me that it's Maria's birthday tomorrow and that I have to do something, and then it stopped sharing itself. I guess Zoom doesn't share banners because then it would be kind of, you're in the middle of a meeting and you'd see someone's private messages come in. So I guess that's why, because I had 3 banners here and they disappeared, and I wanted to show them to you. Okay. Did everyone get an idea about Siri or test Siri?
Yes.
I have a feeling only Julie's trying it. Everyone else is either gone or not interested. So I'm not getting any more responses. Sarah doesn't have it, so she can't do it.
Yeah.
All right. I did know that there's a few people who had to leave, but Vera, have you been able to check on Siri? Yes, you're
Yes.
saying yes.
Yes, I picked an Australian male.
I should try Australian mail. I haven't.
I have an American.
Somehow the British butler. I was an avid reader of Jeeves and those kind of. If you guys never, do you have any idea about Jeeves Wodehouse? No. Am I speaking to the ether? He's the funniest writer in the whole world. Anyway, it's this British guy who has a butler, and I just think of Jeeves every time.
Speaking of accents, Deanna, your pronunciation of Big Sur is right on. That's the way it's spelled. That's the way it should be pronounced.
Oh,
Only
well.
only the Americans pronounce it Big Sur, S-I-R.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. I like not being so weird. Nice
Yeah.
to hear. All right. Okay. So moving on, unless you have any other Siri questions, and on the phone it is useful, as I said. So let me really quickly, I try to do my best to share things on the phone to keep you guys up to date. Again, I'm gonna once again go to the settings and click on settings. And here you can go to set your Siri. Okay, so I'm going to click on Siri. And here you can do the same thing where you have listen for Hey Siri. So if that is not turned on, you can say Hey Siri to your phone all you want and nothing's going to happen. But if this is turned on, now since I had turned it off, since I turned it off, now it recognizes your voice when you say, Hey Siri, continue, and then it'll ask you to say it a few times. Now I turned it off, so I'll have to set it up again. So give me a second. I'm going to show you how to do this because since I turned it off, now it's wanting to check me again. So I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to continue. Hey Siri. Hey Siri, send a message. Hey Siri, how's the weather today? Hey Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes. Hey Siri, play some music. Okay, so basically you have to train Hey Siri to your voice. Otherwise, if I say Hey Siri in a room where everyone has iPhones, everyone's Siri would turn on, right? So by doing what it made me do, it got attuned to my voice, all right? Because you might have an accent, or you might have a louder voice, or or you might have whatever. And so now it knows how you're safe are gonna say it. All right. So there you go. I use it, as I said, for texting when I'm driving, which the last year or so with being at home a lot, or all the time, I have barely been driving. But you know what I use it all the time for? And I'm gonna have you guys use it today when I say it's time for a break. Say that I say, okay, we're gonna have 15 minutes break. The moment I turn off my video, I turn around and I tell my phone, I say, hey Siri. And immediately I say, set a timer for, and I then say 12 minutes. That way it starts ringing in 12 minutes. That no, I have 3 minutes left to make it back to my computer, right? So I do that religiously, because if not, I'll just kind of be in la la land and I won't notice if it's been 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes to come back. So my phone starts ringing, and that's how it works for me. So I'm going to do it to this phone right now. Let's see if you guys see it. I'm going to say, hey Siri, see how it turned on. Set timer for 30 seconds.
30 seconds, starting now.
See how a 30-second timer just turned on, and you guys will hear in 30 seconds, my phone will start going, "Meow, meow, meow." It'll start alarming me. And I didn't have to do anything. I just kind of talked to my phone, set a timer. And this was shown to me. I had one of my the students that I host from Italy. She was in the kitchen and she was setting timers for things in the kitchen. And ever since, it's like, oh, that's such a great idea. So I'll put something in the oven and I'll go, hey Siri, set time. Here we go. Here's my timer. Okay, and now I get to stop it, or I get to repeat it. So now I have my timer set up in the kitchen whenever I need to do something. Say Siri, set it for 45 minutes or whatever. And when it starts ringing, I can be in the garden and go, whoops, I got to go back and check the oven, right? So anyway, so there's certain things for which Siri is ridiculously useful for me, and those are for me right now. It's the timer and the texting when I'm driving. But some people use it, or you know, I had, again, that same host student. I was learning English, and so whenever she couldn't understand something, she'd go, hey Siri, what does whatever mean? And so hey Siri looks up for an answer. So I'm looking for a word. Hey Siri, what's the meaning of notification?
Notification means the action of notifying someone or something.
Okay, so anyway, there you go. That's an example of, you can just talk to Siri. And of course, there's all these questions that people start putting that are funny, like, hey Siri, what's the meaning of life?
Nobody really knows, but I'd say anything that involves smiling is probably a good place to start.
Okay, so whenever you ask the Siri that question, each time you ask it, it'll give you a different answer. And it's just funny because my kids, when Siri first started, had a lot of fun asking all these silly questions, but it has this like, I don't know, 100 answers for that. Anyway, there you go. Now you know what good, silly or not
Diana?
silly, fun things to do with Hey Siri. Yes, Patricia?
And Android is Google, right? And you turn it on in settings also?
I don't know on the Androids. I'm assuming the phone has it, and yes, and it's not Hey Google. What is it that you say to Google? You say okay,
Yeah.
Google.
Okay, Google, okay.
Yeah, you say okay Google to Google. And I believe you would set it up in settings too. I have never used an Android phone for that. Like, I have used it for Zooming and for stuff, but I have not used it for that. So I don't really know the settings on an Android for that.
Okay, thank you, Diana.
But you can look it up. I can say, hey Siri, how do you set up okay, Google on an Android, and it would tell me how to do it. Okay, so on your Mac, you can go and click. So now I'm clicking on that little icon, and I can say, how do you set up okay Google on an Android?
Okay,
And-
okay, thank you.
There it is. I just asked that to my computer, and now it pulled up 4 websites that said use, it says, hey Google, voice searches how to set it up. So my computer, I don't have to go to a website and look for something. I just asked my Siri on my computer, and my computer just pulled up 3 different websites where I can use, set up the Google Assistant on the Android. So
Okay, thank you,
Try that.
Diana. I'm going to
welcome.
try to look for it.
yeah. Okay. So anyway, you guys still don't see the banners here that say Maria's birthday. Do you see those there now? No. You're not seeing my banners. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm not sharing my screen right now. That's why I stopped sharing my thing. All right. That's it for Siri. Any other Siri questions or any Siri examples, good and bad, of you using it? No?
I fired Siri once on my iPhone because I thought the questions, the responses were ridiculous. And when I said, you're fired, Siri said in his British accent, I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's so funny. Yeah, you need to know how to ask the questions, for it to respond correctly and stuff like that. But once you kind of get accustomed to that, you basically have to ask the moment you say those 2 words, the question has to be pretty clear, and right after it tends to respond pretty well. But sometimes it does come up with weird stuff. Anyway, all right. As I said, I never used it until I finally found an actual utility like Timer. Timer is awesome. I use the Timer all the time now. All right. So now continuing with this, the Mac screen and getting accustomed to all the things that exist on the Mac screen. So over here on the left, I've told you about all of these little icons, but then you have a couple more that you don't have and that I might have, and that these depend upon what's installed on your computer. And so right here, I have, this is a Malwarebytes, an app I have to protect my computer, so I can access it here quickly to do a scan. Here I have my Adobe Creative Cloud, which is opening up on another screen that I need. I don't have it signed in this account. I have it signed in the other. Here I have my Wacom tablet preferences. Here I have my Zoom preferences and stuff like that. So you get to choose what you want to have up there. Okay. So if you have nothing, if you don't have any of the, no, you don't get to choose. When you install these programs, they ask you if you want to be on the menu bar, and then this is, if you say yes, then they show up here, and it's little show. I don't have to go and open my entire virus scanner. I can just handle it from here really quickly. And in my other computer, the one where I use for real, I have all of the cloning and backing up and stuff set up here so that I can just run a backup when I want. So like the Time Machine, I would always have this turned on. So the Time Machine would be right here showing itself up. Right now, I'm not teaching you about it, so I'll turn it off. Okay. So that kind of puts us at all the, we've seen the majority of the stuff that shows up on the screen. And the one thing that we haven't yet explored is all the stuff that shows up here. But at the Apple is always there, except for when you're in full screen mode. What do I mean? No matter what thing you have open, no matter what thing you do, and anything that you have. So I'm going to open, so say Safari right now, and it can be small or it can be big, and however big I want it or however small I have it, the Apple always shows up there, except for if I'm in that good old full screen mode. That's the only time that Apple icon on the top left doesn't show. See how right now there's no Apple there. And so if you ever wonder if you're in full screen mode or not, if you look at the top left and you don't see your apple, that's full screen mode. And the only way to get back that apple is to, unless you exit full screen mode, the only way to access it is by hitting the top of the mouse, the top of the screen with your mouse, and then it pops in again, and there it is. So even when you're in full screen mode, you can get it, but you have to actually go look for it with your mouse. Touch the top of the screen, any part of the top of the screen with your mouse, and then the apple shows up. So then you can click on it and still do whatever things you need. So it's always available to you, even in full screen mode. I'm going to hit escape to get out of full screen mode so that I don't have to show that again. And I'm going to quit Safari with the command Q. Remember how we learned about shortcuts, and I'm going to quit Safari. So now in this apple, you always have, as we saw at the very beginning of the first day, I had you guys see this about this Mac. Okay, we're going to talk quite a bit more about this next week when we go into storage and memory and things like that. But right now, that's every single program that you go in on the computer will have an about, every single one. Okay, so if you go to Finder, it'll say about Finder. When you go to Finder, it'll tell you what version of Finder this is. If you open any program, I'm going to open Safari again. I go up to the name and I go about Safari, and it tells you what version you're using. Okay, so any single thing that you have open, I'm going to go and open Notes, and under Notes, I have about Notes. Okay, so it tells you what version, what year, whatever that program that you have using. So always under the name of the program, you will have the about. Okay, and I'm going to quit it. And in the Apple, this is the about this Mac. Okay, so right under, you'll always find the about. Then you have in the Apple is where you will find, of course, you already know about the system preferences. And the next one that we opened at the very beginning once is the App Store. So go ahead and open the App Store if you haven't opened it yet. This is where you buy or update things for your computer. So all the others are if you're going to buy something, like install something, and they're just divided by categories. That's all they are. But the only one that I always have it set to is the updates, because remember that this is something that you need to do on your computer. So if you have it set up for automatic updates, then it's updating in the background on its own. But if you don't have it set up for automatic updates, then you need to come in here and update these. So I have these set up in my other computer that it updates automatically. Over here, as you can see, there's an update since June that I haven't done for these guys because I don't use this computer as much. So I should probably have this one set up for updating automatically. Otherwise, I have to do it. Now, just so you see, it's very easy to update these things. I'm going to go ahead and just really quickly click there. And oh, that's interesting. Download an older version of, oh, that's why. Because I haven't updated, okay, I haven't changed to Big Sur. So this is telling me there's an update to Big Sur, but I don't have Big Sur set up. So basically it's telling me that there's a newer version of these, but since I haven't yet, you know, updated to Big Sur, it's going to update to an older version, which is the one that I have, but that's okay. I don't want to do the update right now. But whenever it does update automatically, then you just need to let it kind of do its thing. If this isn't working for you, if you try to update and it's working, it's because you don't have your Apple ID. Does everyone have this thing saying you need to sign in with your Apple ID?
I'm totally confused here.
Okay, what's your question? By the way, for Joanna, you have an app store in your phone as well. And for everyone, actually. So while I wait for Julie to tell me what her problem is with for a second here. Oh, that sounded horrible. What her problem is. I meant to say what issue you're having. Just so you know, you have an app store, the same thing on the phone, and I have the icon right here on the middle left. But if you don't know where it is, remember, if you don't know where an app is, you can always drag down your mouse and start writing app. And as soon as you do app store, there it'll come up. So it's the same exact place. And when you say app store, here it'll have you sign in. And this phone, since it's the school phone, I don't have it signed in with my ID, but you'll say continue. And it'll ask you to sign in. And here's the same exact thing. You have the categories at the bottom, games, apps, arcades, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say not now because I don't like games. Today's okay. Or you can do any updates to your computer, to your things that it means. So if you have an app that needs to update, it'll come up and it'll say update. Okay, update. Or if you want to get it, it means you don't have it. You can say get. If you say get, that means that it's free. Okay. If you try to get something that's not free, let me go to say like a game here. Are these free? It says that it's going to have an in-app purchase. If I go here to the apps, it'll tell you the price. Right now, it looks like these are not priced or something.
Deanna,
Top free games. Yes, what's the question?
Are you going to show us on our computer how to make the app updates automatic? I have Big Sur and I don't see where I can click on.
Yeah, I believe, let me stop this share. I believe I showed it to you guys last time.
I was absent, I'm sorry.
And share my regular screen. There we go. Desktop too. Okay. So here I am in my App Store. Okay. And so head up to the App Store preferences. And then here you have, I showed it to you in a different place last time, but now that we're in the App Store, here is the place to do it. So once again, how did I get here? You need to have the App Store opened up. Okay, so you need to click on the App Store first.
Right.
Then you go to the App Store name preferences. And so are you seeing the pop-up or do I need to reshare the pop-up?
Yeah.
Are you seeing this that I'm jiggling?
I see. Yes.
Okay, and so you can do automatic updates. So
Thank
the
you.
App Store will download and install apps automatically.
Thank you.
And then automatically download apps purchased on other devices. So remember that I have other devices connected. And so maybe I downloaded something on my phone, it'll download it again on my computer, but I don't have that one on. I don't want the same thing sometimes on my phone that on my computer. Yeah, that's what you do.
Thank you so much. Perfect.
You're welcome.
Diana, once
Yes.
you get a free, like a solitary game, do you select redeem? Or add
Redeem?
yeah, redeem or add funds to Apple ID.
No, I have never seen the word redeem. That's almost like you have credits or something. Does anyone else have? Do you want to share your screen, Patricia? Because I don't know what you're
I'm in
talking
the
about.
other one. I'm in the other one, but it says welcome to Apple Store. I have never used it before, so.
Oh, so then you need to set it up by putting in your Apple ID and putting in a
Okay.
credit card or something like that. The thing is that even if it's free, it'll send you a receipt for $0, but it needs to have a credit
Oh,
card
okay.
set up. It asks for a credit card set up so that when you click on something that's money, it says, are you sure you want to purchase it? And you go, yeah, then it just takes the money from your credit card for you to download. But I don't think I've seen the word redeem. Has anyone seen the word redeem?
No.
Isn't redeem when you have like points or something, like a refund? I really don't know about that one. Sorry. Hi, Barbara. So yeah, I don't know what to answer. Since you can't share your screen, I don't know how to show it to you. So I wanted to go back to Julie, who you said you were confused about
no
something. So can you ask me your question?
Am I on mute? I can't see the bottom of my screen. What's the matter here? Oh, Lord.
I don't know what's happening. Do you want to explain to me? You're not on mute. I'm hearing you saying that you can't see the bottom of your screen, so I can hear you.
I'm not. I went up to Safari. Isn't that how I get into my?
No, not Safari. Close Safari. It's under
Okay.
the Apple App Store. And most of you have the icon also on here. It's a big A, and I have the App Store here, but if you don't have it there, then it's on the Apple App Store.
Okay. Okay. Now I have the screen. It says updates 5 and it says upcoming automatic updates, iMovie, Numbers, GarageBand. None of these things do I use. I don't use, well, I use Pages, but I don't use
Yeah.
GarageBand. I have no idea why that's even here, but I couldn't find the next screen where you said to do something.
Oh, the other thing is that so once you open up the App Store, then under the App Store name right there, you click and that's where you see the preferences.
Oh.
Okay. That's
Sign
the
in to
preferences
manage
for
your
whether
app
you want.
store. Okay, automatic updates. What do I want to do?
Now, well, I would say automatic updates definitely, because here's my explanation to, so here's why I wanted to say when you said, I have these apps that I don't use, okay? So your computer comes loaded with, I don't know, 50 apps or 100 apps, whatever it is that they are. And some of those apps that it comes loaded with are iMovie, GarageBand, or that. These are all apps that you get kind of as a package for free when you buy the Mac. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So if you use them or don't use them, they're still there. If you don't want them, you can get rid of some of them, not all of them. Some of them are essential to the working of the computer. So you can't, I've just noticed that I've had no light on this whole time. Let me turn the light on. Now I'm blinded. Oh, it's worse because it makes the background dark. I don't know what's worse. Oh, it's this morning class that I have that light behind me that always makes my face dark. In the other classes, you see my face well. Okay. Sorry about that. Back to my answer to you. If you never ever use a GarageBand, GarageBand is music. People use it to make music, and you can make professional sounding music, scores for your videos, for your movies, stuff like that. If you've no interest in ever making music, you can download, trash it from your computer. You don't have to have it, but it won't, you shouldn't be trashing things that come with the Mac that help the Mac actually do its job. So but as long as it's in your computer, when an update comes up, an update gets sent out. An update would mean that for people who do use it, they found a bug and they want to send you an update so that you can fix GarageBand. And so even if you're not using it, it's part of your computer, and that's why you're getting it. So like iMovie, if you take my iLife class right now, parallel on Fridays, I'm teaching people how to use their photos that they take on their phone and their videos. And iMovie is how we're going to fix, how we're going to make out of 1 or 2 little videos that you have on your computer, you make a little movie out of it. So that's the app, that's iMovie. Again, if you never think you're ever going to want to use it, you can get rid of it. As long as it's in your computer and it's showing you an update, it's because it's installed. It's not like asking you to install something. The only reason you get an update is because it's already installed in your computer. Okay. And if you don't update it, at some point, it's more vulnerable to viruses and bugs and stuff like that. So you always, as long as they're in your computer, you want to update them. Now, if you want to get rid of them, that's a different thing. You need to go to the applications folder and right click and trash and delete the actual application. And then it won't be getting any more updates because you don't have it on your computer anymore. All right. Bill, I see your hand up. Is that a question or is it an answer
Yes.
from before? Yeah.
Yes,
What's your question?
in the older programs, we used to have a an option to either download only or download and upgrade. And I don't see the option to download only. For example, I used to download the new operating system and not actually install it. Oh, it says, actually, it
That's,
said,
yeah,
can we still do that?
you can, but these here right now aren't upgrades. These are updates, which is different. Let me explain just so that people, this is very, very different to upgrade or to update. I know it sounds like it's the same word. So let me clarify, and then I'll show you, Bill, where your question is. So to update is an application that you already have that's running on your computer, and the maker of that application found that there's a bug in it and it wants to send you a fix for that, right? And so if there's an update, you just need to keep updating because maybe they found a security flaw or something. And so they send a little update and you say, okay, update. And it just is kind of transparent. It happens in the background. Now, what Bill is talking about is an upgrade. And an upgrade is when your entire system on your Mac changes. And an upgrade, you won't find here in the App Store necessarily anymore. If I go up to the Apple, if you have an upgrade available, it's up here under System Preferences. And the problem is that it also says update. I hate that they changed this word because now it kind of, they're trying to make you think that it's just as simple as an upgrade. I'm going to go to System Preferences and under Software Update, see, this is the App Store update. And this is the software update. I know it looks different. It looks, why update here, update there? Because
You're
this
not
is the one that updates your
I'm not
actual
sharing your screen. I don't see
system.
anything. I only see you.
Oh, thank you for warning me. I'm sorry. I share it all the time. Whenever I stop sharing it, I need to be reminded. Okay. So back to, thank you for noticing and telling me immediately. Yesterday, I was in a class, in my credit class, and I spoke for like 10 minutes until someone's interrupted me and said, you know, you're not sharing your screen. I'm like, really? You let me do this for 10 minutes? I was doing a whole demo of how to do how to take the exam that they're going to have to take this week. And they took 10 minutes to tell me I wasn't sharing my screen. I'm like, come on, you guys wake up. Anyway, so thank you for being awake and showing me immediately that I wasn't sharing. So I was going to say that this is an update in the App Store for all the, not that I'm going to sell minor, but for every app other than your
Still don't
actual
have the island.
foreign system. So this is the update. You went to Apple App Store, and this is how you open the App Store. So every app that comes with your Mac, or that
I only
you
see your
install-
island.
Really are not seeing my whole screen? What is happening that my,
Maybe it's
That
me,
is
but I
my-
only see your island and your
No,
face.
no,
I-
Barbara, she said the same thing.
Yeah, I only
I'm
see the
sharing my
island.
Oh, weird. Let me try there.
Wrong
How about
monitor.
there?
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so there, now you're seeing this window?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it says updates.
Sorry. Okay, so I was sharing the background and not the pop-ups. Okay, so thank you. So here we go. Anything that comes on your computer that came with your computer gets updated through the App Store. So all these things that are in your dock, they all get upgraded through the App Store. Every single one of these updated to the App Store. And if you buy anything else from here, so if you install a game or you install an application that you buy from here, anything that you do that you decide to buy or to get, well, Grammarly for Safari or Bear or whatever it is, these things that you decide to get. Once you get them, this is like buying them, right? You buy them and you then use them. So this one here would cost $39.99, right? Et cetera, et cetera. This one I would get for free But then it says, it warns you, there are some in-app purchases if I want certain things like, anyway, basically, I highly doubt there's anything for you about that one. Anyway, so it kind of gets you later. All right. So if you install these from here, you then can always see their updates over here. Updates are all free. It's just updates to fix bugs. Okay. As opposed to Bill's question, he asked about the operating system upgrade. So that one you will find in the system preferences. And I was pointing to this, which it says App Store 3 update, system preferences 1 update. This used to say 1 upgrade before. Now it says 1 update. And I go to system preferences. The software update is the system preference upgrade. This is your operating system. You click on that. It tells me, ooh, look, macOS Monterey is out. Now here's the good and the bad news. It came out yesterday. So all of you Big Sur people, you're not using the latest one. But careful, careful, careful. It just came out yesterday. Do not be pushed into upgrading. So this is where I don't want you guys to be set up with the automatic upgrade. See how it says software update and then it says upgrade now? I don't know why it doesn't just say software upgrade over here, because this is really only for upgrading. This is a huge change to your computer. It's not a minor thing to change your operating system. Some systems will work for it, some systems won't work for it. So this is the new operating system that it started. It came into existence a while ago. They had beta versions, which is people who wanted to test it, but now it's been launched to the public. And so you should all find that you have 1 update available on your system preferences. If you go here, you should all be seeing a 1 update, because this is being told, hey, it's time to upgrade. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Why? You want to wait. You want to wait until all the people who know what they're doing and who have secondary computers to test it. So you should never upgrade to your main computer until it's been tested by a bunch of people. So people who work on their computers like me, I can't upgrade until I'm really sure it's working, or I'll have a problem. And so a lot of people have older or secondary computers and they test it on there first, see what works, what doesn't work before they bring it into their main computer. So this is the one that you want to keep.
Is Monterey after Big Sur?
Yes, it just came out yesterday. It's the newest one.
I don't see it.
You Big Sur people are now 1 under. I am Catalina. I am 2 under from the newest one. I want to click here on advanced, and this is what I want to talk about. But Jeannie's been raising her hand. So Jeannie.
Yes, thank you, Deanna. I just wanted to know, I have not upgraded yet to Big Sur, but if and when I were to go to Monterey, do I need to update Big Sur first and then go to Monterey, or can I go straight, for example, to Monterey?
Yeah, and that's the good and the bad. Since this just came out, if it says other updates available, I can still it's telling me that I have some other stuff like that. I believe, since it just came out, that if I want to move up to Big Sur, I might still be able to book to Big Sur. I might. But for the most part, after a few weeks and not too much more of not updating, then the only option is to update to Monterey. So if I was worried that I might not be able to run Big Sur, I would be even more worried that I can't run Monterey. So by waiting now, by having waited to not update to Big Sur, now I can only jump all the way to Monterey. I believe since it came out today, I still have the choice. Let me see if I still have the choice. Oh, not Big Sur. If I still have the choice for Big Sur, which I hope I do, because I was about to do that. But if it's not highly available, I might not be able to already, which it's not good because I really did not want to go to Monterey, and I don't think I have Big Sur available to me anymore as of yesterday. No.
So we
So I
should
need
have,
to look
we
it
should
up.
have all upgraded to Big Sur. I never knew that. Oh, geez.
You don't have to. You don't have to update. I didn't remember. I thought that Monterey wasn't coming out until November, but it is October 27th, and in my brain, that's long enough. So I'll look it up and see if we can still move up or not to Big Sur, because Monterey just came out. We still might be able to. But anyway, this is where, and I just went, sorry, I
What
didn't
is the
mean to go
dis-
there. So this is where you can download but not install. Okay,
Ah,
Bill's original question, you can download the update but not install it. Okay, so that's the place to do that. Or I don't know if in the App Store, can you go to Monterey in the App Store? Yeah, I don't know.
What's the disadvantage of still being on Catalina? I mean, I'm not a computer person, so is
No.
it bad? for me?
It's not a disadvantage. Slowly, as computers get upgraded, they can do more things. They can usually, all the corrections are based on efficiency or new things that they can do. For example, if you're in El Cap, like Sarah and Bill on his other computer, there's so many things in the cloud that they can't take advantage of. And if you don't need them or want them, you're still fine. You can stay just fine in that. But if you begin to want the whole system to work where your phone has the same thing, what was it? Notifications wasn't working for her. It doesn't exist in El Cap and things like that. And if she's like, oh, I really like notifications, or Siri, I believe she didn't have, that's the one she didn't have. If she wants Siri, then, you know, if your hands really hurt, if you have bad arthritis and typing is a problem, you're going to love Siri, right? So it depends on what your needs are. As systems upgrades pop up, so Catalina to Big Sur to Monterey, they also, on the one hand, use new computers better. So there's a whole new set of chips that's come out, and these chips that the new computers are built with instead of the Intel chip. And I'm not going to get too specific about that, but it's that thing that runs the computers. Then the new operating system takes advantage of it. So if you bought a new computer with that chip, you want to use the newer systems because they're going to work better, more efficiently. But if you have an old computer with the old Intel chip and you put in the new system, it might or not work better, or it might slow the computer down, and you need to just see whether it's going to be better for your computer or not, knowing that if you do that, you'll be behind in some of the good things that show up that you do want. So you have to decide, if your computer is really old, is it worth upgrading? If it's new, like if it's within the last 3 years, your computer is say 3 years old, definitely you should always upgrade to the newest one, not instantly. So not when it just came out, but give it 3 to 6 months, maybe 2 months. We're going to see in a month or so, people are going to start saying, oh, it works really well, or it's really buggy. It's really buggy. Just wait. If it's not, then go ahead and upgrade. So you guys are going to be with me for the next, couple of months in the Mac OS level 1 and 2. And at some point I'll say, well, I've been here in Monterey is great. Go ahead and upgrade. You don't want to ever upgrade automatically. For those of us who are now 2 down, I don't know. I'm going to look it up after class. In fact, it's time to give you guys a break after I answer these questions. And during break, I will check and see whether for people who are still in Catalina, if they can move up to Big Sur. But very soon, or maybe already, you're done. They only let you jump. And so it becomes even harder for an old computer to upgrade when you have to jump to the newest one. Okay. So anyway, Sarah and Jeannie, your hand is still up. Is it from before, or is it a new question?
It's from before.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah, what's your question?
When you're talking about replacing the Intel chip that's being replaced, is that the new M1 chip?
Yes. Mhm.
And is that new enough so that there still might be bugs in it, or is that pretty stable at this point?
No, the M1, the chips have been tested already because already people who bought the M1's chip has been out for a couple of years now. Now the new computers that came out 2 days ago, which I'm so excited about. I wish I had a lot of money right now. They are having a new version of the M chip, and they have the M chip Max or Pro or something like that. So they have 2 new chips that are even faster. And everything I've been hearing about the chips is awesome. They're really fast. They're really efficient. Computers are just zooming.
Excuse me,
So if you're
Diana.
in the market to buy a new computer, definitely don't buy a computer that has an Intel chip. Like Costco right now is still selling, lowering their prices on the old Mac Pros. They're not so old, they're from last year, but those still have Intel chips. So that's why they're going down in price. So if you're going to buy a computer that's a good deal for you, the Intel chip is still a good deal. But in the future, you might be able to upgrade maybe for 2 or 3 years, and after a while they won't work so well, versus if you spend more now for an M1 chip, then it might last you, 5 or 7 years. I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to weigh that myself, because
Yeah.
the Intel chips are getting really cheap, and it's getting really tempting because the high level Mac Pro with Intel chips are really blazing fast. And I was thinking I might just do that, but then I have to think in the future, 5 years from now, where I'll go, God, I wish I didn't have an Intel, because they're going to support it for 5 years. And after that, they're not going to support them anymore.
Okay, thank you.
So then you're kind of know that you're in 5 years, you have no computer. Now, am I going to have a computer in 5 years anyway? Yeah, like my computer right now is the 2015 and it's 2021. So it's 6 years old and it's still doing well. Versus if it had an Intel chip in 5 years, the old ones won't. Like this one, anyone who has an old computer has a 5-year life on it right now for Apple to support it. So anyone who has a computer that does not have an M1 chip, right now, Apple's going to support Intel chips, which all their computers have, unless it's a new one, for 5 more years. After that, the next one you need to buy is going to be an M1 chip, which means that however old your computer is, for sure, it's not going to be supported from here to 5 years from now by Apple. That doesn't mean that there won't be places like Mac Mechanics, people who will still start helping you, but they'll stop supporting bug fixes or virus fixes or things like that. Sorry, Barbara, you were trying to speak to me, and
Yeah, if you
kept
have
wanting
an
to finish
M1
this.
chip, and they go to an M2 and it's fantastic, can you upgrade within the M's?
You have to buy a new computer. That's not an upgrade. That's the
Okay,
M1 chip is something that comes in the computer that's hardware. So if you buy a computer with an M1 chip and then they go up to M2, well, they'll keep supporting it for years and years and years. I don't think I mean, this is a huge shift. What Apple has done is like a cataclysmic shift in the world of computers, where they left Intel behind. That they've been using PCs use Intel, Macs use Intel for the last 25 years or whatever. The shifting to this new M1 chip is huge. It's not something that will happen again and again and again. They just came up with something new. Intel PCs are trying to imitate it, because Macs right now are going to be blazing much faster beyond any computer. But the competition is catching up, and soon there will be, Samsungs and other stuff that'll be pulling up with these new chips. So everyone in the computer world is shifting to this new type of chips. So everyone's computers in 5 years will be pretty much, old stuff, because the PCs will also catch up with this new type of chip. Mac just beat them all to it, but it's kind of the way of the world of computers right now.
thanks.
So I'm going to give us a break. Stop my share. I'm going to actually use my break to research and make sure that I can still upgrade you, Big Sur. And I don't know if we can anymore. They're pretty strict about that. It's 10:35, so let's be back. Let's go say break until, I'm writing it down, 10:50 a.m. There we go. All right, see you guys in 15.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm back. Is anyone else back? After a little mishap where I spilled stuff and cleaned up, I managed to research. So anyway, hopefully the dulcet tones of my voice will alert you to. I hate this time of day when the sun is, I don't have any way to darken that window. So the morning people have the worst of me. Anyway, all right. Everyone, hopefully you're trundling back. I see 1 or 2 faces, 3, oh, 4, nice. All right, so here's the result of what I have found during my research, my short little break research. I'm going to share my screen, and it would seem we might or not be in luck. I can't tell until I actually try to do it, but it would seem that we can still upgrade to Big Sur as long as your computer, okay, there's 2 things. If your computer is not compatible with Monterey, okay, so if it's not compatible with Monterey, then you can install an older version. But mine is compatible. It's one of the latest ones. Mine is an iMac, late 2015 iMac. So I can still upgrade supposedly to Monterey, but it's the last kind of the next update that comes out. I won't be able to upgrade to it probably, or I will, but it'll get sluggisher and sluggier. Sluggier, is that a good word? No, sluggishier. Anyway, I'd rather not upgrade to Monterey today anyway, as I said, because I don't have it set up. So I went to see if I could install an old version of Mac OS, and to Mac OS Big Sur, which I myself wasn't ready to do. But when I went to that one, it took me to a place where I want to install the old version. So it kind of leads you back and forth. But I managed to get to a place, which I don't know how I got to there, but I did get to a place where it sent me the link for upgrading. Anyway, here's what it did. It sent me the link, and I'm trying to remember how I got to that link. I went here to install an old version, and I'm gonna here. It really wants to, if your Mac isn't compatible, you can upgrade to something older. But since mine is compatible, I clicked on use Safari downloads Mac OS on your Mac. There we go. And so I was able to get here, use these links to find the old installs in the App Store. And when I got there, then it connected me to the Mac Store. And now I'll share you what happened in the App Store now. I need to share this screen. So now my App Store on its own switched to this screen where I can still get Mac OS Big Sur. See that? Once I download it, I can install it. But even so, I recommend definitely downloading it, but not yet installing it. So I went ahead and clicked on Get, and it took me, and let me share that screen, to my installer, the one that before used to say that I have to download Monterey, and it's looking for the update. And when it finally found it, it said download now or not. So I stopped there and I didn't download. Download would be, say, there you go. Are you sure you want to download Mac Big Sur OS 1106? So I'm still allowed to download it, and then after that to install it. The thing is, I'm going to say not now for now. Because I'm not in my real computer. This is not the computer I want to use. I want to go and use the other one. So basically for all of those of you who still want to kind of upgrade to
Big Sur.
Big Sur, I'm going to put in the chat the link that got me there. So that link right there that I just put in the chat, you can click on that right now. And in the background, Safari or Chrome will open, will lead you to that page, and then leave it there. And when class is over, you can decide what to do. But here's my very, 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 very important request. If you have a lot of stuff in your computer, if you're one of the people who has tons of material in your computer, photos, you know, stuff like, not that if you look at the web or the internet or mail or stuff like that, because that's all stored on the cloud, you won't lose it. But if you have stuff in your computer, you know, bazillions of photos and stuff, please do a backup first before you upgrade. And I'm going to teach you how to do a backup, but not until macOS level 2, which means that if you want to upgrade to Catalina, you need to wait a little bit. I highly recommend that you download, like I just got to that download the Big Sur package that'll download, have it sit in your download so that you can still upgrade to it, and then do a thorough backup of your computer before you change and upgrade, because this is where, in this big upgrades like this, is where things can go wrong. My computer right now, there's no way I can upgrade it. I told you that I have some things going wrong. What I am going to do personally, and this is something that I can do because I know how to handle files, I'm going to completely erase my computer, reset it, set up Big Sur, and then bring all my stuff in again one by one, because I've been having so many issues that I need to do that. It's called a clean install. It's a big deal. It's going to take me hours, if not days, to get everything set up again. So most of the time when you do an upgrade, you just click upgrade and it just upgrades in the background. It might take a few hours, and next thing you know, it's all there again, only you have a new system and it's easy. I'm going to do it the hard way around because I need to fix my computer. But even if you do it the easy way, please, if you've already doing backup, you know, Time Machine backup, make sure to run it right before you then press go and install, because if you do that, then if something goes wrong, you can always still back up to your older version. If you don't have that, you can't really do that anymore. So if you've never done a backup, maybe if you hang out a little bit longer, I can show you a really basic way to do a backup today after class. So those of you who have no idea what I mean by backups, maybe stay a little bit after class and I can give you a mini primer on how to do it, only because of this whole like Catalina, Big Sur, Monterey thing. So if you're one of those people who needs to do a little backup, hang out. And when I say, what was it that I had to tell you after class? And you remind me that it was this whole backup thing, and I'll see if I can give you like a 10-minute version of it so that you can back up your computer before you upgrade. Now, someone like Sarah, you can't upgrade beyond where you are on that computer. That is as far as that computer will take you. So there's nothing else you can do but wait until you buy a new computer. You can't keep upgrading. People who have a computer like mine is from 2015, 2013, 2012. There's this big shift. 2012, you have computers that can't back up, but can't upgrade anymore, like Sarah's, like the other one that Bill has. Once you get to 2013, the early 2013, some of them can or not be upgraded. Late 2013s can. So late 2013, all the way through now, you know, to say 2015, early 2015, because they come in later, early 2015. Those I wouldn't recommend going up to Monterey or even to Big Sur. But from late 2015 and up, then I'm going to go definitely to Big Sur. I'm not sure yet about Monterey. I think everyone should wait for Monterey. Okay, that's a question, Julie?
Yes, since I have Catalina 2017 version 10.5.7, should I just take my
No,
MacBook
that's
Pro to
Catalina.
Mac Mechanic and have them upgrade me to Big Sur?
No. No, not at all. Let me move over here to this desktop. No, to this one. I'll stay in this one. Here's, I'm sharing. Yeah, I'm still sharing this window. When you go over here, I have so many things in this window. Let me move things out of the way and actually share the entire desktop. There we go. When I said, if you have Catalina 2017, 2016, 2015, all that, I did not mean, I was not talking about Catalina. Catalina is the OS. I was talking about your computer's age. So go up to the Apple and say about this Mac. This is what matters. Not Catalina, but your computer. Does it say late 2015, late 2013, early 2017? Like, what does it say right there? That's what matters. So once
Okay.
again, how I got to this window is Apple about
Yep.
this Mac. You
Yep.
get to this window, and this is the date that I'm talking about. So what does that say? Everyone go check.
Where am I looking?
Okay, go to the
I,
Apple.
I've got the Mac OS Catalina version 10.15.7.
Okay. All right. So right underneath that, it'll say whatever your laptop is, whatever your, I have an iMac, yours might say MacBook Pro. I don't know what yours is. And then it'll, at the end of that first line, it'll have a date. What does yours say?
15-inch 2017.
Okay.
MacBook
So
Pro.
it's a, okay. So it's a 2017. It doesn't say early or late. It just says 2017. So you're fine. You're 2 years old, newer than my computer, for example. A 2017 is now 4 years old, right?
Yeah,
About. So depending on if you if it's an earlier or late version of 2017, it could be 4 or almost 5 years old. You can definitely upgrade to Big Sur. I wouldn't say that anyone should upgrade to Monterey right now because it came out yesterday. So you can
Right.
definitely upgrade to Big Sur. So if you go down here, right here where you are to software update, it'll take you back here where it's going to try to get you to upgrade to Monterey. And that's the one that I don't want you to do right now. So if you instead go and click on the link that I just sent you in
right.
the
okay.
chat, it'll send you to a window. And in that window, so did everyone go to that window? People who are still in Catalina who want to go to Big Sur? If you went to that window, then this is the window that I sent you to. So all you need to do is click on that link that I gave you. Okay, I sent it to you a few minutes ago.
Right, I copied it
Right.
and sent it to my email. Yeah,
All right, but you can just click on it. Now, just don't copy it. Click on it right now. Just click on this link that I gave you. And if you don't know what link I'm talking about, I'll send it one more time. Just click on it in the chat. If you all clicked on it, and this is just for Catalina people, then it comes in here and it says how to upgrade to macOS Monterey.
right.
Are you
I
in
have
this? Okay. Now here, say install an old version, because I don't want us to go to Monterey yet for sure. Install an old version of macOS. People who are in Big Sur, just wait it out for another few months. For those of you who are in Catalina, go to install another version of macOS
Okay,
and go all the way down to use Safari to download macOS on your Mac.
wait a minute. Say that again.
Wait,
Go
wait.
down.
Someone else said, wait, who did I lose? One
Me, just that you said go down to.
second. No,
macOS
hold on,
Catalina.
Julie, hold on, Julie. Jeannie has a question. I'm
Oh,
waiting
no,
here
no,
where I left
I'm
you.
just lost also. We went down now to,
Okay,
oh,
so
use
we
Safari.
went, this is the link that I sent you to. This
Yeah.
link
Yeah,
takes you
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Scroll down to install an old version of macOS.
Yes.
Click on that one.
Yeah.
Then when you're in how to get old versions of macOS, scroll all the way down to use Safari to download macOS on your Mac.
Oh, okay.
And here, click on macOS Big Sur. It takes you now to this. Now it's your app store where Big Sur was not found on a search, but it did give you macOS Big Sur after you clicked on that link.
Okay,
At that point, you can hit get, but don't wait until after this class is over, right? And when we finish, so leave this open, and when class is over, click on get, and it's going to bring you to this up. It'll bring you to this window, but it'll say macOS Big Sur download, or click on get right now. That's fine, because it'll get you to download, and then just wait until after class. Now, when you download that, you don't need to take your computer to any store. It's just double clicking on the link and saying go, and it just does it. It'll ask you at some point, you'll have to kind of hang around nearby. Sometimes it'll take 5 minutes, sometimes it'll take 25 minutes, sometimes it'll take an hour. And then it'll ask you things like pop in your Mac Apple ID. So make sure you have your Apple ID, that you have your password. Make sure that you know your computer's password, the one that you know when you set up your computer, when you open it up. As long as you have all those 3 pieces of information, you can upgrade your computer yourself. My one thing that I said to do before that is make sure that your time machine has created a backup at the last minute, just so you have a very last minute backup. That's it. So those are 4 things you need to make sure you have. So I'm going to write them out here.
So I should hit the get and just leave it then until after class,
Just
correct?
hit the get, and after class, you'll see that it'll say download now, download. Right?
Is
So just
I hit get
sit
and it
there.
says finding update.
Yeah, and when it's done finding an update, it'll pop up with macOS Big Sur, and it'll have a window that says download. Leave it there. After class, go ahead and download it, but make sure not to run it, not to double click and make it happen, not to install it, which is what Bill was asking. You can download it, but you don't have to install it. Make sure not to install it until you have, first of all, I'm going to put make a time machine backup. 2, have your Apple ID and passwords available, and have your computer password available. Okay, those are the things that you want to have to make sure. Oh, the second one says 20 has. I meant to say 2, have your Apple ID and passwords available and tested to make sure that they're the right ones, they work. And then if you send this to Mac, and then if you take your computer to be upgraded to Mac Mechanic, they will ask you for these things anyway, right? So it's like, they'll say, well, make sure that you have these passwords and stuff, because they need to set it all up. So it's like no different. And then download the Big Sur upgrade.
Uh-oh.
And then to make it run, you'll just have to double click on it, and it'll start asking you questions. Do you want to install? Are you sure? Yes. Okay. This will erase everything. Okay. Just kind of go say yes, 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 yes. And then it'll, the process can take up to a couple of hours, depending. Bill, you have a question?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure that I think all of the operating systems that are OS 10 can still run the old programs, the old Microsoft Word programs. And for example, the, oh boy. So some of the stuff that won't run on the newer operating systems, I think you can go all the way to into Catalina and still run the old programs. Newer than that, I don't think you're able to run some of those older programs.
Yeah, here's the thing. That's why I'm saying you have to hesitate. I took a long time to switch to Catalina on my personal computer, because all of my Adobe software that I had purchased many years ago stopped running on Catalina. So I finally gave up on that. I updated my personal software to the newer system, and my Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint. I also have the new version now, because as a student, you get them for free through school, so you can do that. And then I upgraded to Catalina because things stopped working. I had to buy a new color monitor, things stop working when you upgrade. So if you have software that you use a lot that's very old, and you already have Catalina, then it was still working. I do not know what stops working when you get to Big Sur. It would seem that you say that the old Microsoft Office stops working in Big Sur. I think old, like 10 years old. I think that if you had 2019, it still works, and even 2016 still works. So you have to have some really, really old stuff for it to stop working at this point. Which, as I said, I had old stuff and it worked, and I had to stop using it. So if you have any concerns about that, you can just Google, does Microsoft 2011 work on Catalina? And I assure you it'll say no. Yeah, Julie? One more thing that might stop working is that your printer that you have connected. You might need to go to your, you have a HP 2357, go to HP 2357 on Google and say, does it work with Big Sur? Does it work with Monterey? So those are the things you need to check before you upgrade, because you might need to download a new driver for your printer or something like that. And even if you take your computer to Mac Mechanic for them to do this, they wouldn't know what your printer is. So all these things, yes, you can take them to Mac Mechanic. Not that I don't want them to get work from you, but for the most part, there are things that unless you write down every single model name of everything that you have and take it to them, then they might help you find the driver. But other than that, if you ask me next week, I can show you how to find drivers and stuff like that. Is that a
Diana?
new question? So thank you, Bill, for reminding me about, and I'm going to write it in there. Check that software that you use, if it's old, still works with the new upgrade. And
Deanna?
check that that hardware, hold on, like printers that you have connected to your computer still work with the new upgrade. Okay, and you can Google all those things. Yes. There's 3 people asking me questions, Patricia, Jeannie, and Julia. Go ahead, Julia.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or
can't,
Julie, sorry.
yeah, I can't find my, the bar across the bottom that has the share and the chat. I don't, all I see is my background, and I see, you know,
I'm gonna stop my share because I don't need to be sharing right now. So there, you'll find it easily now. Or you should find it easily right now.
no, I don't find the, oh. No, I can't escape either. What am I doing wrong? I still have the screen
I
for
don't
the
know.
get.
I don't know what you're doing wrong. The screen for the get is separate from your
Yeah, I don't
Zoom.
know.
So
But
I
I
don't
hear
know what-
you. Yeah, I just don't see. Oh, now I went back to my Zoom icon and I see
Yeah.
you. Did I
Okay.
lose my, the get?
no, it's sitting there waiting for you to get to it when you're done with Zoom. It's fine. Other than that, yeah, you can go to the get thing. You go to the thing that says get. Let me just show you one more thing. Okay, let me just show you one more thing. You can go over here to the screen, you guys, where you have the get. Julie, stop looking for stuff. Look at my screen. Go
Yeah,
back to the screen that has the get, minimize it. Just go here to the yellow, click on it, and it'll go and install itself right next to your trash and the dock. That way it's out of the way and you can forget about it until after class. Then when after class shows up, you can just go and open up. You can go to your dock right here and you can open it up from there. And click in here and there it'll be. Okay, so just minimize it to get it out of the way so you can continue with the class. Did that work, Julie?
no, I don't-
yellow-
I'm not following your directions. I'm sorry. I'm a little
Okay.
dense.
Go to the window that says get.
I don't
you
have a
find that
window
one?
that says get.
You just said that you have, all you could see was the window that said get, download.
Oh,
Sorry, download, not get.
yeah, but I don't know where it is now because I see your screen.
Hit the escape so that you can minimize the Zoom screen then. It's just that I'm sharing right now. And when I share, you stop seeing it. Do you see your window that says download or get or whatever it is that you see now?
For some reason, I have connecting to the Mac. Wait a minute, it's underneath here. Yeah, I have the
Okay.
download
So
now,
now-
which
so-
I'm not gonna do,
okay.
right?
Okay, so then go to the little three dots, go to the yellow one and click
Oh, click the yellow dot.
the yellow dot so it'll get out of the way. Mhm. It'll
Oh,
get out of the way. And then right now, the day you want to retrieve it, go down after class, go down here to your,
it says software
to right
update.
next to your trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, go down to your dock, right next to your trash, and you'll see that you'll have the software update there. When you're
Okay.
ready for it, click on it and it'll come up again. And then when you're right now waiting for it, just give it a little yellow minimize. And that's an example. People were asking the other day, why do you want something or not to be there? And that's an example. You want it to be there, but you don't want to use it right now. So put it out of the, kind of put it out of the way by minimizing it, and it sits there in the dock waiting for you to use it. All right,
Okay.
Jeannie, you had a question?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Deanna. If we go ahead and do get it and download it, can we leave it there for a period of time till I mean, a month even, or?
Yes and no. That's the part that I don't know if how at some point Apple will cut the cord. But if
Oh.
it's downloaded, it probably can hang out for quite a while. I just don't know how long.
Until we
But
can.
I would believe a month is enough.
Mhm.
But I don't want you to rely on my words because I can't figure out, these companies do things in their own times, but I
Sure.
would believe that in a month should be fine. Please do not, put money on my words.
Thank you.
All
And
right,
but if we
yeah.
decide, after we've researched our issues, that in fact we are not going to download it, is there a way to then delete it from our computer?
Yeah, right click trash.
Just
Move to
take it.
right click, move to trash, delete. Mhm.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
now
much.
these are big files. This is a big file, so it'll occupy a lot of space. So if you don't install it, do delete it. But hang on to it until you know you want it, because it won't, it's not going to be easy to get. Very soon it won't be available to even get that download, and then you won't be able to upgrade. Okay.
Terrific. Thank you very
Patricia,
much.
you also had a question. You're welcome.
Okay,
Patricia, you also-
Diana, I have a 2017 Mac,
Mhm.
and they always ask me to update and update, but I'm scared because I have killed 2 PCs because I had too much like photos, videos and stuff like that, and then upgrading all the time. So I don't know what's the reason that the computer is slows down a lot, and I don't want to do it in this one.
A 2017 is still fine to upgrade to Catalina, to Big Sur.
It is Big
I don't
Sur.
want anyone. I don't want any. Okay, so if you're in Big Sur, just wait. Now, if
Just
it's
wait.
asking you to update, that's different. Updates you should do, yes. But if it's
Oh.
telling you to move up to Monterey, don't do that. But all
Okay.
the little updates that it's trying to do, if you don't do them, that actually kills your computer, because that means that it's available to viruses and things like that. So updates to all the little programs, like I said, the App Store, if it says update in the App Store, you should definitely update. So if you went to the
Okay.
App Store, go back to the App Store, App Store. If it says, go to the App Store and where did my App Store open up? Oh, I have it minimized, sorry. If you go to the App Store and now where did I leave my App Store? If you go to the App Store and you click on the updates here and it has anything that says update, you should update all. No question. Update all. That you
Okay,
should
thank you.
do, guys. That one is important for everyone to do. It's like taking a shower. If you don't take a shower, you get grungier and grungier and grungier. And then at some point, people don't want to sit next to you. Updates need to happen. Okay. Updates are important. Upgrade to the new operating system. No, that one you need to first make sure that everything you have that you use with your computer works, that everything is going to be compatible. Mainly at this point, it's just printers. It's not like we have many other things attached to our computers. But hard drives that you have attached to your computer, you are always going to still work. It's mainly printers that might, if you have a very old printer, not that it stops working, but you might have to go find a new driver. So since this is the issue of the day, let me and you all of you who have Big Sur are gonna have to decide in the next month or so if you're gonna move up to Monterey, right? So let me just show you what you need to do. So go online and look for the name of your printer. So I don't have my printer over here. Does anyone have a printer over there that they can give me the name of their printer? If you have it handy, mine is in the
Mine's an
in the
Epson,
garage.
Epson,
So
and
they-
then it says
Eps-
WF 3520. I don't know if that's what you mean.
Well, let's see. Epson WF3520. Okay, so I hit enter. Okay, so here it is, Epson Workforce F300 all-in-one printer. I'll click on that. And it's taking me to that page. And over here, it tells me, you know, information about that, find paper, find support, find ink, all that kind of stuff. Another thing that I need you to look in here for drivers. Right now it says that it's discontinued. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Replacement product, where are the drivers? Okay, so what I would do right here is I would look for I don't want to have to write it again, but I would look for the drivers. So I would I'll look for that, and I'll look for the driver. That's what I need. I'll hit the driver and I'll search for the drivers. And so when you come in here, the fact that it keeps saying discontinued makes me think they will support it for a little bit longer, but not for a ton longer. So find support, drivers. Okay, it detects what Mac OS you're using and it gives you the driver. So if I am going to upgrade it to a newer driver, I'm in 10.15. So that's all it finds. If I'm in 11, we see if it has a driver. If I'm in 12, we see if it has a driver. So I look for the driver for 12 and there it is. If I look for mine is 10.15, it gives me the driver for 10.15, see? And then all you need to do is download it, okay? So you just download, if you have a scanner for it, if you have a printer driver, you just download and then double click to install it. So in whatever app you have, so like, if you need that one, that's the driver. And it seems like it hasn't changed. It's the same one.
So do you do
12
this
like if
app?
you have an older,
Yeah. Do you
What's
do
that?
this after you do the upgrade to Big Sur? Or,
what you might want to do is call or do a search or ask a question, like a Google question. Does the Epson
WF 3520?
work with Monterey?
Or Big Sur?
And since Monterey just came out, so here it says Epson will provide Monterey's 12 drivers and support for Epson products on an ongoing basis. So here's a message because Monterey just came out yesterday. So Epson will provide Monterey 12 drivers and support for Epson products on an ongoing basis. To check, go to Epson product and search for your product. And when we went to your page, when we went to your page,
Mhm.
it does have the choice for Mac OS 12, which is Monterey. It does have one. If not, it would not give you that choice. So this means that it'll work for Monterey. So here's your printer driver. You download this one. Okay. So that's
So
what
for
you kind of
Big-
need to do. You need to go look if you have anything else attached, go look for the model of what you have and look for their driver and see if it's going to work for Monterey. Mac OS 12 is actually Monterey. Okay.
Mhm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Once you download it, you double click on it and you install it. But you might need to do that after, as long as it's there, you might need to do that if when you open it, when you install Monterey or Big Sur or whatever, and you try to use it. If it's not working, that's when you install the new driver. You
Okay.
wouldn't install the driver now because the driver now might not work with your software that you're using now. You just need to check to see if it's available for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So do a search for your printer model and check for the drivers. If available for for Mac OS 11. It's good for Big Sur. If available for Mac OS 12, it's good for Monterey. Okay, so Mac OS 11 is Big Sur, Mac OS 12 is Monterey. Okay, any other questions around that? Irina, Patricia, I think you had a no, I think you already asked your question. Any other questions around this?
Nope, thank you.
This wasn't originally what I was going to teach today, but when I saw that Monterey came out, I thought I'd have to bring it up. So, you know, so things change always in class, they change a little bit to what's necessary, but that's fine. Let me just say one more thing, which is before you upgrade either to Big Sur or to Monterey, when I say that you need to do an upgrade, a backup, what you're going to need is a handheld, not a handheld, a portable hard drive. So here's an example of a portable hard drive. So for Sarah or for anyone else who does not have one of these, I don't know if you can see it. You can buy these, go buy one at Costco, at Office Max, or what are the companies we have here? Best Buy, or order it online from Amazon. Just get a portable hard drive. And this is something I usually teach on Mac OS 2, class level 2, but let me just show you what you need to get. Go up here to about this, just forget it. You need to get at least a 2 GB, minimum for 2 GB. They don't almost sell them that small anymore. So go get yourself a portable hard drive, 2 GB or bigger. So minimum 2 GB. So buy that, and then I can help you I can help you do a time machine. And that will cost you anything from, I don't know, at this point, I'm going to go, for example, to Amazon. I mean, I don't know. Usually I get them in person to Costco or something like that, but I don't have Amazon set up. I don't know. I think if you do like that, and you do portable hard, and not that I'm asking you to go to Amazon. Some people hate it, some people look at it, but it's just what I can show here. So any of these guys, so yeah, about $60 is about what I would expect to pay. These are, wow, these are 2 not gigabytes, I'm so sorry, 2 terabytes. Terabytes, not gigabyte. Okay, so 2 TB. So Seagate portable 2 TB. This is $60. This one too. Any of these is good. This one is 8 TB. That's why it's 500. Okay, so you don't need that much. So now sometimes you'll find. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Costco has a promotion online that there is a box. I don't know if it's,
I can't hear you.
oh, I'm sorry.
What's that?
Yeah, Costco has like a magic box for $600.
Magic box for $600. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you want to share your screen or?
This one, Apple Mac Mini. Is that a storage?
Oh, that's a whole different, no, that's a computer.
Oh,
Okay, so so here's Costco hard drives, and an 8 terabyte costs 160. You know how on Amazon we just found an 8 terabyte for $500, where here's an 8 terabyte one for 170. So I always buy my hard drives here. Here's a 2 terabyte for 54. Anyway, depends on the quality. What you're talking about right now is Apple computers, and you're talking about, yeah, Apple has Costco has good deals on Apple stuff. And one of the things it has is the Mac Mini right now. I didn't, it sells you some things from Apple. And inside of Apple products, you can get, I think, what did you say? The Mac Mini?
Yes, Apple
Yeah,
Mac
so the
Mini.
Mac Mini is a computer. It's not a hard drive. It looks tiny. It looks
It is
barely bigger
tiny, yeah.
than, it's this tiny thing. But you
Uh-huh,
connect a monitor to it, and it's an actual computer. Okay.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
it's the cheapest computer they sell. It doesn't come with keyboards or it doesn't come with, it has the new M1 chip, so they're pretty good. I've heard very good stuff about them, but it comes, I don't believe it comes even with a keyboard or a mouse or anything, right? Does it come with anything else? Or
No,
just
it
the
doesn't,
Mac
it
Mini is
doesn't
all
come
you
with
get?
anything. It's $600.
Yeah, and it's a computer and it has only 8 gig memory. And this is the only thing that makes me hesitate. For 99% of you guys, this is good enough, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's 0.5 gigabyte hard drive. So if you want the cheapest Mac, but good, because it's got the new chip and it's really fast. I've heard really good things about this one that you ever want to buy. This is the cheapest one you can buy. You need to have your own monitor plug into it, your own keyboard and mouse that you can buy separately. Each one is about $70 if you get the Mac versions.
You know what?
Um,
I have an old one
yeah,
and I use it with a large LG television,
yeah. Mhm.
and it was given to me and I loved it. And
Mhm.
I'm thinking about
Yeah.
buying, when I get the money, a new one to hook up to the TV. But I bought a brand new 27-inch iMac and I've got to get that paid
Yeah.
for.
Yeah. So this thing here, we bought a Mac Mini, 8-9 years ago, and we put a monitor on it, and it was my husband's home computer for work, and it was wonderful. And when it kind of outlived its life, we also connected it to our TV. But it actually, or more 12 years ago, I don't know, it's really old, so it finally stopped being connectable. But yeah, you can connect it to your TV or to any monitor and you have a computer. So, all right.
Okay.
But it's not a hard drive. A hard drive
Okay.
would be, you know, go into a search for actual hard drive or go in person. And Costco doesn't have many people helping you at the whole store, but it always has people in the computer aisle, and ask
Okay.
them for a 2 terabyte hard drive, and they'll point you to something like this. Okay.
Okay,
And this is what you
okay.
need.
And
If
we
you go to
need that, you
Costco,
know,
if you go to Amazon, you need this in order to do a backup that you want to do for sure, a backup before you get to, so this is exactly the one I just showed you right here that I had in hand. That's this one. And you need that if you're going to do a backup before you do any upgrade to your computer.
Diana,
And
Okay.
next class, I will be showing you how to deal with files and stuff. And I will be telling you to do things just like that. You're gonna need to get one just like this. Okay.
Diana, I have two
Yes,
external
Barbara.
hard drives that I had.
What's
for
that?
I have two external hard drives
Yeah.
that I had for the DAM class. What will they do if I plug them into a computer to see what's on them? And because I wanted to format them and use them for a computer backup. Because I have one external plugged into my new Apple that I put all my photos on. It's just
Mhm.
photos.
Yeah, but be careful, because if that dies, all your photos die as well.
Right.
So-
Well, I wanted to take one of those extra ones,
And back that
And-
one up.
back the photos up onto a second one. But I wanted to use one
So-
of the external hard drives to do a backup for my Apple computer.
So you guys, all these cables that I keep telling you how many cables I have and how crazy it is. Let me just share with you again my phone. And I'm gonna put the camera on my phone. So this is my my computer. Right here is you guys. And then I have these
Oh,
are external hard drives, and each one of these, I have 3 main ones, and these are backups. So this is a copy of that. This is a copy of that. This is a copy of that. And then I have these small ones that are, I have 2 of them here, and I have one more here. Okay, so I have these 3. So I use them for different things. So these are all external hard drives. Now, remember, I use my computer for work, and so a lot of this is work, but one of these is my family photos, and then I back it up. Okay, and the other 2 are work. And these are for when I do portable things. I took one of these to Argentina with all the stuff I needed to teach with and stuff. So that's why I have that there. All of these things have to connect, right? So I have so many cables, and then that one thing is the only one
I
that
do
connects to my
too.
computer. Okay, so it's not like this is a mess of cables because it's untidy or whatever. It's because I have all these hard drives connected. But the important thing is that one of these, and I actually have it under my computer, and that's, I can't even show it to you because it's under this desktop, is my time machine. And that time machine is going to be the one that let me just stop my share. There we go. My time machine is the one that backs up my entire computer, so that if something happens to my computer, I can reset everything up from that time machine. And it's one just like this big one, only it's down there. Okay,
Oh,
so
but
yes,
Diane-
you can do that. You can reformat it. Just make sure they're functional and they're working well, because a backup is only as good as the thing is. And if it's really old and cranky and it's not a good one, the backup won't be a safe backup. So
Well,
yes, you can
I
reformat
used
them.
it for my DAM class, and it's in a travel case in a drawer
For
in my
your,
desk.
for your what class?
The DAM class, DAM class
I
at
don't know
City
what is it.
College. Yeah,
I
you
don't
Management.
know. Oh,
It's a management.
digital asset management. Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't remember what it was. Yeah. So I just forget the acronyms to me are killers.
But
Okay.
I didn't haul it around. It hasn't gotten bumped or anything. It should be fine.
As long as
just
it's
don't
fine,
want
you
it to
can
do
use it.
anything crazy to my computer when I
Yeah.
plug it in.
So,
Just
so I'll be
picture that.
talking about much more about this in OS level 3. I only broached the subject because I need, that's our level 2. I broached the subject because I want some of you guys who are ready to upgrade to have a backup done first. And then other than that, you can ask me all these other questions about other kinds of backups and upgrades and all that. They'll be talking about them in the last of our Mac classes that's going to happen in by now in another month and a half or so. Okay. All right. I just showed you how to buy it on Costco or on Amazon. Go in person, go to Best Buy, ask for a portable hard drive, 2 terabytes or bigger if you want to spend more, but usually that's more than enough for a time machine. Okay. If you buy one that's 4 terabytes, for example, and it costs maybe $20 more, costs you $80 or $100, it will last you many more years. That's the only reason you might want to go bigger. For maybe 20 to 40 more bucks, you will have a bigger hard drive and it'll last you longer. That's the only difference if you spend more. All right. Next, let me, am I sharing my screen everywhere? No, I'm not sharing my screen right now. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen one more time. All right, so here we go. I have a few a few more things that I want to share with you about the basic layout of the screen, and well, 2 more things that I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you a little bit more about the Spotlight, but here on the Apple, there's a few more things that I want to talk about, things that are you need to know, which is the sleep, the restart, and the shutdown lock screen. If you have one of these log out Mac class, what are these things and recent items? What are these things? Okay, now this is what mine says. If you have a laptop, it'll say something different, just so you know, because depending on what you have, it might have different options. is someone seeing here under this Apple different options than mine under sleep, restart, and shutdown? Do you have another option if you have a laptop? Something about battery power, is it there at all? No. If so, if not, the differences will be in the system preferences, but I just want to know whether there is a difference here. No? Okay,
I
so
do.
these, you do, Marcia? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your options?
Systems about this Mac, systems preference, location, app store, recent items, force quit, sleep, start, shut down, lock screen, log out.
Okay, so you have one more here that was location items, right? You said, or
Right.
something like that. It's the only one that was different. Okay, and you have Big Sur.
Yes.
Okay. So that would show you which one of your apps you have turned on the location services, right? Which is kind of what I talked about the other day about the location services, where you allow the computer to know where the internet or the service that's asking to know where you are. So I don't have that one here. The recent items that's here, if you have it, is just goes to what have I used lately. So last thing I opened was the App Store. So I was showing you that one today. So then if I want to go to it quickly, instead of having to search for it, there it is. Remember last class, we were opening Chess, Contacts, and Dictionary. So they're all here because the last thing I used 2 days ago was these guys. So this is like a quick way to reach things that you just used. These are the apps that I just used, or right underneath that, any document that I just opened. So I was opening these because these are some rosters and stuff like that. So anything you used lately is showing here. So instead of having to go find this file, if I know I used it this week or last week, it's quicker to find it here. So that's what recent items mean. So they're all mixed up. It's just whatever you used lately. They kind of figure that most people use 5 different apps all the time. And so instead of having to go find them in all these other places that I told you how to find them, you can also have that final place, which is just right there. Click in there. You don't have to go find wherever it is that you had them. Okay, so it's just one more quick way to get to something. So if I don't want to have to even remember how I got to dictionary, it's not in my doc, but I know I used the dictionary the other day, then I just go to recent items and dictionary opens up. Okay, so now when I close it and I go to recent items, guess what's available? It's still there. Now, after a while, they fall out, right? If I haven't used dictionary, say for 2 months, and I've used other stuff, it might fall out. But if all I do is use these 5, they'll never fall out because there's nothing else that needs to replace it. You know what I mean? If I suddenly have a 6th, the 10th, and 18th program, they'll begin to fall out of the system. But you'll get to a point where your recent items will be really useful because it's the same things that you use all the time. And most people, you know, they'll go to the internet, they'll go to the mail, they'll go, if you're a photographer, you'll go to Photoshop. If you know, you might go to your photos and stuff like that. And then that's it. Once you get them up there, you kind of can always find them there quickly. Does that make sense, you guys? On the recent items? Okay. Now, the quick ones that I want to show you is sleep, restart, or shut down. First of all, what you should do all the time, if you're leaving your computer and you live in a place where there's other people in the house that you don't feel confident leaving your screen turned on, maybe you have someone coming to visit, you know, to do now that we've been stuck in the house, like my mom's got someone coming help her do some rehab, or you have someone cleaning your house or stuff like that, and you just want to have your screen turned off. The minimum you should do is put it on sleep. Now, I can't do that because I'm teaching, and if I put my computer on sleep, the whole Zoom will turn off, and you can't either right now. I believe that your Zoom will turn off. So let's not test these right now. I'll explain them to you. You test them during this week. And then on Monday, if you have any questions, we can talk about them because your computer will go to sleep, which means it'll just go blank. The good thing about sleep is that when you wake it up really quickly. You just touch your mouse, touch your keyboard, any movement you do, touch your touchpad, or in a laptop, you just open the top of your laptop. That's it. That's waking up your computer. So when you're in a laptop and you slap down your computer, you're putting it to sleep. But when you're in a desktop, you have to go up here and say sleep. Otherwise, it goes to sleep on its own after a prescripted amount of time. So what is that prescripted amount of time? You choose that in the system preference. So once again, let's open our good old system preferences. This has to do with security. And that's why I want to make sure that you all are aware of what is that's happening here with the sleep. First of all, how many of you open up your computer or your laptop and you do not need to put in a password? When you just open your computer, there it is, it's live. If that's so, then you do not have a password. Now, on the new laptops, you might have Face ID. So you put your face in there and boom, it opens up. That's fine. That's equivalent to a password, right? Or you might have the strip where you put your thumb down. There you go. That's equivalent to a password. But all computers, in case it's your husband who wants to open it, also has a password, right? And so that password needs to be typed in. If you have none of those, if you open it up and anyone coming in can open it up and see your computer, then that is an unsafe situation. If no one ever comes into your house, that's good enough. But if someone ever does steal your computer, which can happen, then they can open up and get to anything that you have in there, which again, might just be websites that you visit. It's not a big deal, or it might be your bank account. Who knows what you have in your computer? So you need to have a password on your computer. To have a password on your computer, you need to go to your users and groups, and you can, if you do have a password, it'll say change password. If you don't, then you'll be able to add a password. Okay. So since I have a password, it says change password, don't change it. You're fine. But if you don't have one at all, if this thing does not say change password, then you should set up a password for your computer. Is anyone in that situation where you need to set up a password? Now, if you have a newer computer, it'll give you the options also for, as I said, for your face or for your thumb. Mine doesn't have those options. Okay, if that's fine and no one needs to do that because no one's spoken up. If you need to do that, you need to first unlock. Oh, no. See, if you don't have a password, you don't unlock anything. It's always unlocked and anyone can change your computer settings. And that's when people's kids, grandkids come to visit. And by not having this locked, suddenly there's huge weird things happening on their computer because their grandkids knew better than them supposedly and messed up with their computers. And I've had lots of people come in crying to class going, oh, my grandchildren visited. And now my computer's a mess because they set it up for their own purposes. And that's because they changed the system preference. So go ahead and go back to the main one. And now let's head over to, where's the power? Here, energy saver. Okay, the light bulb. Let's go down to the light bulb. Does everyone see the light bulb? Doran, Vera, Charmaine, are you all in the system preferences and do you find your light bulb? Let's click on energy saver. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna share, just this so you can see it a bit better. Okay, so this is the energy saver. Okay, so how do I found it? I found it going from here into this light bulb energy saver.
I want it open.
All right, so now the thing that spends most of the power in your house, the electricity of your laptop, is the display. So if you have a laptop, it also uses up your battery. I don't have the battery choices here because I'm sharing from an iMac. When I taught this in the summer, I was sharing from a laptop, and so I had battery choices. So if you're in an iMac like me, you won't have the battery choices because you're always plugged in. But what it'll ask me is if I want to have my display turn off quickly or not. And this is the one that, yeah, what it means is won't turn your computer off. It just puts the display to sleep, meaning if I'm gone from my computer, I have it set up for 10 minutes right now. If after 10 minutes, maybe I walked away, the computer is just sitting there showing my screen, it'll just turn the screen off. That's all it'll do. And when I come back, all I need to do is hit this keyboard, any key, or move my mouse, and boom, it opens up again. So it's not shut down, it's just turned it off to save power. So you probably don't want it to be up always, because then you'll be running all day long or for an hour after you've gone away from the computer. So 10 minutes is good enough. Sometimes I have it even less, depending, because if I'm gone for 5 minutes, I'm probably gone for quite a while. But I had to move it up to 10 minutes because sometimes in class I'm just talking without doing anything, and suddenly if I did that for 10 minutes, then my monitor would turn off, and that's bad. So I have it for 10 minutes, but you can have it for even less or more. It's your choice. Now,
Deanna,
you can, if one second, the first choice, prevent computer from sleeping when the display is off, means that my computer does not turn off if my display turns off. If I turn this on, then let me just turn this off. If I turn this on, then the moment my display turns off, my computer will also go to sleep. Yes. Marsha?
yeah, I don't see Energy Saver on systems preferences for Big Sur.
Okay, so someone else who has Big Sur, do you guys find it, or does it have a different name?
No, we have it. It's the Energy Saver is the light bulb.
It is, okay, so
Not on Big Sur. On Big Sur? She has Big Sur?
Yeah.
Yes, I have Big Sur.
so there's all these different light colors. There's the light gray and the dark gray, and the one that talks about software and whatnot, somewhere in there you'll find it. Do you want to share your screen otherwise so I can help you find it?
I just don't see it, but I'll be happy to share my screen. Thank you.
Okay, so let me stop my share and share your screen.
The light bulb is there in Big Sur.
I'm so sorry. I just see it.
Go ahead and share your screen and we'll see it, and we'll try to find. Sometimes there's
Sorry.
so a dizzying array of icons, it's hard to really. Oh,
Oh,
you have a
yes, I have
laptop,
it.
so yours says battery.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yours is a battery right there. Mhm.
All right.
There you go. So actually, since you're there, and since I do not have a laptop, why don't you keep it there and let me show plan B if you have a battery. If you have a battery, what it does. Now, if you don't have it plugged in right now, do you?
No.
Exactly. If you had it plugged in, you would see Energy Saver. These things change according to what's happening. The fact that you do not have it plugged in means that that's why you're not seeing the light bulb.
Yes.
You're on battery. So it only shows you the options for battery. Does that make sense, you guys? You only see what you need. So since hers is not plugged in, the only choice is battery. And so can you go on the left side down to the battery? So here you have a similar thing to what I was showing, when to turn the displays off. So she has it for about, I guess, more like 4 minutes or something like that. Can you go and hover over, maybe that's 5 minutes? Yeah, there it says 5 minutes. You had it for 5 minutes, which if you're in a laptop and you're on battery, yeah, you really don't want the display to be on much time. And then the default would be to dim the display a little bit while on battery powered, to use it a little bit less. Okay. Now, the bottom one, enable power nap while on battery power.
Yeah.
That one, if you see the description, it says while sleeping. So when your computer is off, closed, it's sleeping. It's not turned off, it's sleeping. So it uses very tiny little bit of power, very tiny little bit of power when it's sleeping. But if you turn this on, then your Mac will still check and bring in any updates, like if you receive new mail stuff. So when you open it up, the new mail is already there. So if you turn that on, you're going to use a little bit more battery power than it's off. If you don't want that to happen, then when you open up your laptop again, then at that point it'll update and bring in mail and bring in all that kind of stuff. So it's your choice whether to turn that on or off. Can you head down to power adapter, which is on the bottom left? So when you have the power adapter on, meaning it's plugged in, then see her display turns on now after much more, like 10 minutes instead of 5. So the default's already figure, hey, you're plugged in, you're not, it's fine, you're not using up your battery, you can have your display on a little bit more. Does that make sense? Again, the one that I was explaining on mine, prevent computer from sleeping automatic when the display is off, means that just because the display turns off doesn't mean that your computer goes to sleep. That's the computer. So if you, right now, by being unchecked, that means that the moment that the display turns off, your whole computer also goes to sleep. Okay. And that makes sense. If you have that on, then your computer might still be running using up power and you might not know, even though the display is on. And she does have the power nap so that when she's plugged in, your computer is still updating mail and stuff like that. So that when you open up, your mail is up to date and you have anything new, your messages came in, everything is ready. And that's because while you're plugged in, you're fine. You're just using, power. You don't want it for battery. So that makes sense, the kind of choices you have. Now, you can change these to things that fit a little bit better or not. But as you can see, the choices are different. Does someone who have Big Sur, but who does have the energy saver, want to share their screen so that I can show the difference between Big Sur and show their energy saver? There we go. So Bill is sharing his. So he has Big Sur and he is showing the energy saver, and you are on an iMac as well, right? Yeah. So again, we don't have the battery conversation because he's on an iMac. And so he has it set up so that display doesn't turn off until after about half an hour, right? See how where his line is? It says turn display off, and he has his little white icon all the way up to about, I would say, half an hour. So when he leaves the computer, the laptop, the computer screen stays on for about half an hour. All right. Now, after half an hour, the display turns off and the computer goes to sleep, because if he doesn't want the computer to sleep, then it would have the check mark on. So basically, as long as you're using the computer, putzing around the office, coming back and forth, it's basically always on. When you really, really leave the room and you're gone because you're having lunch or whatever, then it puts itself to sleep after half an hour. Okay. So those are the choices you have to make. The one underneath the put hard disk to sleep when possible. So put hard disk to sleep when possible is if you're not using your computer at all and your computer can tell that it's not being used, it'll power down your hard disk in order to save battery power. And when you start using it, you'll hear a little like your computer wakes up its hard disk to start, operating. So this is all to save power. Computers nowadays, computers don't use a lot of power, but it depends on how much you use them. Like his is going to use a lot more power than mine because his display stays on for half an hour versus mine stays on for 5 minutes, right? So that's your choice in how much you want power to be used or not, because it's the displays that use the most of it. If you have a laptop, definitely should have a low number on that. But also the hard disk goes to sleep on its own if it's not being used. If you have that on, like him, if you have it off, then they never go to sleep and they'll use even more power. All right. All right. If you're not sure what's good, you can click on restore defaults to go back to basics, and then you make your own choices, right? You don't have to, but if you're not sure what would make sense, what are the basics, you can just click restore defaults. For changes of this kind, it'll probably ask you always to sign in. I'm pretty sure. Now you might want to schedule your computer sometimes to turn off at 10 p.m. and not wake up again until 7 a.m. or something like that, and then it automatically goes to sleep. If you don't have all these other settings turned on, that to have it turn off on its own, then this might give you an overall off and on, in case you forgot to turn it off. But for the most part on a laptop, if you gently pull down the top, you're basically putting it to sleep. Yeah, Barbara.
Years ago when I had a PC, I was told never to, and just sat on my desk. They said it's better not to turn it off. Is that something that was, years ago? And
No, so basically, I'm gonna move on to that question now. So good timing for that question. Thank you. Actually, Bill, since you're sharing, can you go up to the Apple and show these choices? So I've been talking about sleep. Sleep never turns your computer off. Okay. So sleep just powers everything down to so minimal that there's barely a flicker of power going back and forth, but it is not turning off. So what's happening is that with just a touch of your mouse or movement, it comes to life again. It's quick to begin working again. It doesn't use much power. And this is key, it doesn't turn, let me share my screen now. It doesn't shut down. And why is that important? Because yes, shutting down is a big deal for a computer. Now, in the past, we used to say, oof, don't shut down. It's not necessary to shut down. And I still rarely do shut mine down, but yeah. Bill stopped sharing because he must have clicked on sleep or something and he got kicked out. So here we go. If I were to shut down, imagine an airplane, right? When it's running, it's fine. By the time you get lands and you shut down, turning it on again, the whole check-in flight, all the kind of stuff, they probably have to test 20 buttons. I don't know. Have you ever seen the whole process for, to get
big
going?
process.
It's a big process. The computer does that too. Every time you shut down your computer, it does a whole bunch of processes and it takes a whole long time and it finally shuts down. And then when you turn it on again, it does a whole bunch of processes and it turns on. And sometimes, depending on your computer, if it's old or new, it might take even a whole minute to turn on. It might take 3 minutes to turn on. It might take 30 seconds to turn on, but it takes quite a while to turn on. Because during the process of shutting down and turning on, the computer does a whole bunch of stuff. It cleans itself up. It resets things to 0. It checks that all systems are up and running. And then when it's finally ready to go, it turns up and it turns on. What's the good and the bad of this is that the bad is that sometimes it doesn't turn on because you had things that didn't work really well and suddenly you've got a dead computer. So that's many times the fear of turning your computer off because maybe a virus suddenly would go in and not let your computer turn on and stuff like that. Plan B, that's if things are really not working. Plan B, you want to shut down your computer, and this is when you do want to do it, when things aren't working. If there's things that are frozen, things that are really, really in trouble, a shutdown is really good because it does this whole checking and it cleans up a lot of stuff. And was it the other day that I said, when in doubt, restart your computer or shut down and power up. So what's the difference between the restart and the shutdown and power up? It used to be that it wasn't so different. I was reading actually now that there is a difference between the restart and the shutdown. I believe as of Big Sur, a different process happens. So a restart would be when you just want it to shut down and turn on, which is boom, 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 boom. You just don't want to sit there with the computer off. You're not going on vacation. You're just trying to get it to reset itself. So that's when you restart. When you're ready to go on vacation and you really want to shut down your computer, you actually shut down, you forget about it, and then you're gone for I don't know how long. And then when you come back, you power it up again. So most of the times we'll be oscillating. Every time you should just sleep it or close down your laptop. That's just to sleep. Occasionally, you're going to want to restart when something isn't working, when you're talking to Apple people, then when you have to reinstall if some software needs you to restart because you need to have the computer recognize there's new software to make it work. So it'll tell you restart your computer when you start it. So this restart is the most typical one. Rarely will you have to shut down, but now and then. I know that on the PCs, there's so many viruses and so many things attacking PCs that lately they're recommending to shut down almost like once a week. I read the other day, I was like, whoa. I don't think you need to do that, but once month. I must admit that I'm doing it once a month now. In the past, I used to do it once every 3 months, but now my computer is running into more problems, so I shut it down a bit more often. Shut down. Security people say to shut down more often. There's different questions about that, but as long as you do a restart now and then, that kind of clears out any bad juju that might be running in the system. And many times that's all it takes for the virus to go away. Macs are very, very much more virus proof than PCs are. So there you go. Basically, rarely shut down. If need to restart, always put to sleep. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. By the way, people, if you need to leave and you want your computer to go to sleep before the 5 minutes, that's when you put to sleep. If not, just walk away from your computer and it goes to sleep within those 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or in the case of Bill, half an hour that he prescribed. Okay. So you don't have to go here, but if you know you're leaving and people are walking around and you don't want them to suddenly open something up that you have, then you just put it to sleep. When you turn it on, you have to put in that password. So if they don't know the password, your computer is basically a brick as far as they're concerned. So rarely do we even go here to the sleep unless we're consciously leaving and want to get our computer to shut down immediately, or not shut down, but go to sleep immediately.
I have
Okay.
to put in a new password after my computer's been asleep. Is that something in my settings?
Your new password for if your computer's been asleep is the one that you get here from users and groups. So you go to users and groups, and this password here is the one that you have to type in when your computer's been asleep. It used to be called administrator's password. Now they're just calling it your computer password or something like that. I don't know what they called it last time.
Yeah,
used to-
and
for
when
years
it
it's
goes
been
to
called
sleep and I wake it up, I have to
Mhm.
type in my
Yeah.
password.
Yeah, so that's fine. That's what you want to have. You want to have something here that says change password. If not, it means that anyone can wake up your computer and just see into it. So does anyone have something here that's very different that doesn't say change password? No, because if it says change password, that means that you have a password. So that's good. No. Okay. So as long as you all have passwords, that's fine. I always find someone in class that doesn't have a password, and then I urge them to put one in. It doesn't need to be complicated. And by the way, the newer your computer, the more chance it has a thumbprint or a face that you get to put in there. Okay. All right. So then let's head back to the system preferences. I have a couple more things that I wanted to share with you about the system preferences. Remember that I told you about the Spotlight, that I wanted to tell you a little bit more about Spotlight. Next class, I'm going to start teaching you more about the inner workings of your computer, like where your files are, where they go, how to store them, where things are, how to find them, all of that kind of stuff that we haven't talked about this class. I'll be teaching you next week. But when in doubt, the Spotlight is really useful to just find stuff as long as you know their name or their stuff. So it's that little, let me get my mouse, that little magnifying glass that's up here. When I click on it, the Spotlight search turns on. Okay. If I don't want it anymore, I can just click somewhere else and ignore it and it goes away, or I can go back here and turn it on and off just by clicking this on and off. Okay. Now, what preferences could you have for your Spotlight? Well, let's go and see. What options do I have for my Spotlight? I can click on Spotlight right here, and it tells me what kind of things will appear in my Spotlight. So maybe you only want to find things that are in applications and you don't want it to look for anything else. Right now, everything is turned on. Everything is turned on for me. So when I go and do check my Spotlight, it searches everywhere for that possible thing. So if what I'm searching for, and by the way, this applies to the Mac, to the phone, the general searches everywhere, right? And it's called a search on the phone. It's not called a Spotlight. So say that I want to search for something, then it'll look everywhere. So let's go up and do a search right now. I'm going to click on the spotlight here and I'm going to search for the word, I don't know, I'm going to search for the word horse. I search for the word horse and it gives me information. I'm going to make this bigger, right? It gives me information from Siri, like what's a horse? Another option of horse, a horse meat. It searches, and I guess I have in one of my notes, I must have written the word horse. Over here, I guess I wrote something, the word horse. So in my notes, I have the word horse a few times, it would seem. It's showing me a Mac App Store has an app called Horse Racing. So basically, it looks for the word horse anywhere. I guess I have a message in my email that says a word a day Trojan horse. I have an email from a word a day that's showing me Trojan horse, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, if I keep looking, oh, there's a video of a horse performing a TikTok dance, basically everything under the world, right? It's found horse wherever it can because of all these choices. I told it to look for definitions or to look in the web or to look in my mail or to look everywhere for the choice of horse. Now, I don't have any file called horse. So I don't have any application called horse. So that didn't come up to the top. Now I'm going to get rid of this by hitting return. I'm going to get rid of that. And now I'm going to look for something that I do know I do have in this computer. For example, I do know that I have the program called iMovie. So I'm going to write iMovie. And my top hit is the actual application. So in order of importance, the application, it assumes is what I'm looking for. And you all have iMovie. So type iMovie as one word, IMOVE. And as soon as you write IM, so you don't even need to do IMOVE. As soon as you do IM, now it could be Image Optim or iMovie. As soon as I go to IMO, the only choice is iMovie. I don't even need to continue. It's being continued for me. Okay. So now I have other choices for what IM could be. I'm going to type, for example, the calculator, cal. And as soon as I do cal, it could be the calendar or the calculator or the graphing calculator or calculator.com, et cetera, et cetera. So as soon as I go calcu, calcu, then it's the calculator. So I can find my calculator. If I didn't know where else to find it, now I know how to find my calculator. If I don't have it in my doc and I don't want to go into my applications, the top choice will always be your application. Now, how about a file? I'm going to go see if I can find a file that's on my computer. So I have, where's my screenshot? I have a lot of screenshots. I'm going to write SC for screen. And as soon as I go to screenshots, I get, the first thing I get is an application for taking screenshots. And then down here, I begin to get actual files that I didn't have before. I haven't been finding files. This is an actual screenshot that I took. And I click on it, and it's one I took in this class the other day as a sample. And I click on this one, and it's that one. These are screenshots that I took the other day in class, teaching you how to use a screenshot. Okay, here's a screenshot I did of the day that I taught you how to do the iCloud. That's a screenshot I did of the QR code I wanted you guys to do for the survey, right? There's also folders of mine that say the word screen. So I click on this folder, and it's showing me not only my folder, but what's in my folder. So as you can see, it's very thorough. This Spotlight searches everywhere to find anything that could even have the choice for screen. So here I have the word screen, and it's a student support note that I have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so if nothing else, you can tell it, well, I don't want all that to show up. I only want it to look into my applications. Well, then uncheck everything. I don't see the point. I'm fine with it finding everywhere, but you can choose to turn all that off and have it only look into applications and files, for example, and then your solution, your results will be only applications and files. Sarah and Bill have questions? Yeah.
Yeah, what's the difference between the Spotlight and the Finder?
The Finder is basically the software that shows me where everything is. Like, basically the desktop, that Catalina Island picture right here,
Yeah.
that's my Finder. It allows me to open windows, and in these windows, I have to search. By the way, officially class time is over, but if you want to hang out a little longer, I can open a window and search myself for things. I can go into my desktop and find the files that I have, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the Finder. It's me searching for things. The big difference is that Spotlight is one app that searches your Finder to tell
Okay.
you. So it's really a search. It's called the Spotlight, but it's the search. So it searches my Finder, but based on the other things that I had turned on, it also can search in other places. That's because I have it turned on. But if I have this turned off, it wouldn't search in other places, right? But yeah, it searches everything, not just like your Finder. It searches your entire computer. The Finder does not search anything. The Finder is the application that holds all your stuff and all your equipment and your files and your applications.
Okay, thank you.
I know the word Finder looks as if it's a search, but it's not.
Yeah.
Bill, your question?
Yeah, it might, when I go to the Spotlight under preferences and type in something, the screen goes back to preferences and turns it dark.
Yeah, because you're searching in here. This is the search of this application. So this is the search that belongs to this application. So no matter that you're in your Spotlight, you won't find anything here. This is the part that's confusing. Every single application has its own little search. This is not the Spotlight. This is a search for anything that's in system preference. So if I now write screen time or screen, it shows me different places that possibly would have the word screen. But this is only searching this application. The Spotlight is way out there, and it's the one that searches the entire computer, is only the one that works for the
Oh,
entire
okay.
computer, is the one up there at the top right menu.
I
That
got- thank
searches
you.
your entire computer. Every
Okay.
application, if I open my notes application right now, it has a little search right here. And this search is only going to search my notes inside of this application. It's not going to search my entire computer. So if I put the word screen over here, then anything that I wrote the word screen in my notes will appear. So this is a search, not the Spotlight. The Spotlight is the search that searches not only your computer, but everything else, the web, the dictionary, the everything. And that is, so these individual little searches belong to each one's application. Over here, I will not find my note. If I write the word horse in system preferences, it comes up with nothing. There's nothing called horse. If I go into my notes and write the word horse, I discover that in some of my notes, I have written the word horse. So over here, Philmont, it says wild horse, and it shows me where I have it, right? So it's places where I have, look, I have a lemon extract horseradish recipe. So it found a place to find horse in my notes. But that is an internal search for each application versus my entire computer search. That's the Spotlight. Okay.
Thank you. I really feel stupid.
No, it's not at all. It's so easy to go in here and see a search. It's like I'm talking about Spotlight, and you see this right there. It's just different. And I'm glad you asked that question because I managed to clarify that for everyone. Yes, Joanna?
Yes, just before I leave, a quick word. I want to thank you, Diana, for all your help. You've made me more familiar with my devices, and you've given me some confidence to explore a little more. Thank you.
You're welcome, Joanna. I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that.
Diana,
Yes.
are you
But
going to be
Julie,
teaching?
hold on. Julie's had her hand up, so let me
Oh, okay.
respect the order. Yes, Julie.
Yes. I have a real problem because I had the thing out for going to the Big Sur. And that's, I did the yellow button. Now, when I go into,
Okay, hold on. If it's the whole Big Sur thing, we'll talk about it later. I want
No, no,
more questions about what I'm,
no.
Oh, okay.
When I hit the system preferences, it brings up all of the things I hit with the yellow button. It doesn't let me, even if I go up to the Apple for system preferences.
no,
it-
if you're in system preferences, it'll bring you here.
No,
Julie,
it
hold on.
didn't.
Oh, hold on. I'm not sharing that screen. If you bring up the system preferences, it's bringing you here. That's where it's bringing you. okay?
Right.
So if you go and click and change to system preferences over here, it'll take you that little button to the rest. And when you go back to software update, it'll again say Monterey. So now you'll have to go and get that again because it
Wait.
defaults to Monterey.
Walk me through that again. I'll go to the little.
So
bump
hold on.
thing.
Are you still where it says download?
Yeah,
Okay, leave it there because you want to do that. So don't bother. Don't change it. I want you to download that thing. So don't change it. But just so you know, this isn't necessarily, I just want to clarify. Don't do this now, Julie. But this isn't necessarily a problem. Let me be clear. In the system preferences, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't know.
Right.
25 places you can go to. And how you move through them is through this button. You go to this one, you go back to that one. You go
But
to
it's
this
not
one,
letting me-
you go
I
back to
can't
that one.
get the-
Hold on. If you are in this one, if you're in this one right now and it says to download, don't leave it because if you try to leave it, it will not have your choice to download again. So don't leave it. First download after class. When you're done downloading, you'll be able to go back to everything. So just be patient because you finally made it here to the word download. Stay there, stay there. You don't need to go there anymore right now. Wait,
No, I
download. And
couldn't, I
now,
couldn't do what you were doing with everybody.
exactly, because
Oh,
you're
okay.
stuck in this place that says download. So don't leave it, because if you leave it, you will have to go all the way back to the page, all the way to go find the download. So just watch this piece, which is all I'm showing is that you go back and forth from it. Now, while I'm helping everyone else with their questions, if you want to now hit the word download, go ahead and do that. Download it. And then when I'm done helping other people, if you have any other questions, I'll help you with that. But what I was trying to show, and Joanna, I was trying to show something to Joanna and Joanna left, darn it. I was trying to show this, which is how to do the search on the phone, but because I usually try to show her because she has an iPad, but too late. So now you guys, the search, the same similar search, the spotlight, but on the phone is when you put your mouse, not your mouse, your hand in the middle of your screen on this main screen and you pull down, that's the search right there. That's the search that searches your entire phone. Okay, so it's equivalent to the spotlight. It's the entire phone. So if I now look for my Photoshop app, I have a Photoshop app or a Photos app on my phone, it comes up for my entire phone. But then it also tells me you also have a Photoshop class, which is a spotlight search. You see, this is the little spotlight search. You also have an app that says photo. You also could go to the App Store and buy that, or you can go here. I have a note saved Sova. So basically any place in my phone that has the word photo is popping up right now. Does that make sense? It's the spotlight search. Any place that I probably wrote the word photo will pop up. If instead I put in the word, let's try the word horse that I tried before, I don't have anything called horse in my computer. So all it did was find the meaning for horse, websites that, I don't know, go horseback riding in Santa Barbara, what a horse means, the 12-year cycle of the zodiac, horse meat, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Does that make sense? So it's the spotlight for the phone, that main search, right? Versus if you're in a specific app like Notes, then this search right here will only search my notes. So if I write horse in here, it comes up again with that same Philmont note and other lemon extract note that had horseradish, et cetera, okay? So basically it's doing the same thing as the internal search of the Notes app, and it only searched my notes because it's a search that's sitting here inside of my Notes app. But if I leave this app and do my general search for horse, then it finds anything that's on my computer, on my phone. Okay. And hopefully, Julie, you're the one who's Joanna's friend, right?
Yes.
tell her to look at the last 5 minutes of the recording because I was trying to explain to her this and she left. And
Okay.
I wanted her to know how to search. So have her
Sure.
look for the last part.
Okay, I have another
Okay,
quick
yes.
question. I hit the downloading Mac OS Big Sur and it says about 2 hours remaining. Do I just leave my computer on while
Yeah.
it's doing this?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you always leave it on. I just
Well-
told you how you should never shut it down.
No, no,
So,
no,
yeah.
no, I know. But I have a yoga class at 3 o'clock. Will this still run if I try to get into email and link
Well,
up?
it's 12:30 and it said about 2 hours. So yeah, it's just downloading.
Now it says about 1 hour remaining. How did that
Yeah,
happen?
it usually takes less because usually, no, usually it does it. Usually when it's installing stuff, it reads the system, it tells you something, and then you're fluctuating, right? When we stop actually doing Zoom, it'll go even faster because right now you're using so much of your online connection
Oh,
on
okay.
Zoom and showing a video and stuff like that. So when we stop doing this, it'll probably go even faster. And then it'll say 1 hour. And then when you come back, it might say 2 hours because it's hit a different
I see.
point
Yeah.
where it needs more. So it kind of fluctuates, but it'll kind of give you an idea of what it needs. Yeah.
And then when it's done.
And while
what
it's
will happen?
downloading, it'll still, now, hopefully you're only downloading and not when it says, do you want to set up? Do you want to install? If you're not ready to do it, then you can say, no, not yet, don't cancel, whatever, and it'll just have the download. Okay.
Okay.
So
Does it- it
unless
right now-
unless you're ready, you already saw that your printer, because I searched it for you, has it. So if you think you're ready, you can go ahead and upgrade. Do you do a time machine backup? Do you have a time machine backup for your computer set up?
Yeah, I have.
So,
Yeah.
right, so if you have a time machine backup set up and you already checked your printer and it's working, then you're welcome to do it, but not if you have a class at 3 because it probably won't be ready by 3. A whole upgrade takes a long time.
Okay.
It might be ready by 3, I don't know, but it might not, and you don't want to miss your class unless you can join your class on your phone or on an iPad, then you might want to just wait. Or
Okay.
you might want to do it because it might, I've never had, when it's a simple upgrade, I've never had my computer take longer than like an hour and a half or 2, but you're risking it. Yeah.
I've never upgrade or
Thank
done
you.
a backup. I've been afraid. I've been waiting to do it in class.
Yeah, so we'll run a backup later, not right now. Right now, I told people how to buy their portable hard drives, and then next class, normally I would wait until macOS level 2, but because people might want to upgrade sooner than later, I might just show people how to do it in this next class that's coming up, Mac level 1, just to get that out of the way.
That would be
So
super.
so that we can then upgrade for those who need to upgrade. All right, so hold on, I have a question from Doran. Oh, but he's left for this class. Doran can use Catalina only on his MacBook without any upgrade. Yeah, of course, you can all choose to stay with Catalina. I want to move up to Big Sur. Why? Because I know that my computer could still run on Big Sur, but I don't know that it'll run well on Monterey. So if I wait to upgrade to Catalina, I might have to upgrade only to Monterey, and then I'll not be able to do that. And it's very hard for me to teach you guys on Catalina when you're all in Big Sur or in Monterey. So I need to kind of keep myself, like, if I was at school right now teaching at school, I probably wouldn't upgrade my computer yet because but I'm going to have to because it's really hard to teach Big Sur when everyone has Big Sur and I have Catalina. So yeah, that's the issue. All right.
I have
Julie?
one quick question.
Yeah.
While it's downloading, there's a box that says automatically keep my Mac up to date, and it's got a blue check. Just leave that.
I had that one off. I had that short here. Let me share my screen again. If it's check marked, it will automatically be up to date. I actually clicked on the advanced next to it, and I do not have this one turned on. And I recommend you do not have that. Go ahead and turn that one off. That way you can download it, but it won't install until you're ready to install it. Does that make sense?
Well, it says
So
update. Oh, okay.
So when you turn this one off, then that turns into a little line instead of on a check mark. Right now, if you have it check marked, then maybe when this thing finishes downloading, it might try to install it automatically. And by not having it checked on, then it won't install automatically. It'll ask you first. Okay?
So I can uncheck it now, automatically keep my Mac up to date. Okay.
No, you do want it to be automatically up to date. I don't want you to uncheck that. I want you to go to advanced and uncheck
Oh,
that one. You do
Oh.
definitely want to have your up to date, but I want to, if it's checked on, then it's all of this. If it's checked off, then none of this happens. And this is important for it to happen. I just want you to check off the middle one.
yeah. Okay. I just did it. I had to give my password, but I'm all set.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Okay, you're welcome. Marcia?
Deanna, you were talking about, items that we put in our desktop. When I put items on my desktop, like a screenshot, it's hard for me to know which is which. They don't seem to go on my desktop in any particular order. Do you have any suggestions for
Yeah,
that?
so Marcia, that's what I'm gonna start next week with on Finder file management. So first Monday, first class, that's what it's all about, figuring out what and where to do with your stuff. So patience.
Thank you very much, Deanna, for your
You're
patience.
welcome. All right,
We can.
so any other burning questions before we close up the class? I had said that I was gonna tell you guys how to look into backing up if you stayed later, but since so many of you had the same question, I already talked about it. Told you how to go find your portable hard drives. And what I'll do is tell you how to use those portable hard drives that you buy next week. Now, I won't do it on Monday to give you a bit more time to do it. So maybe by Wednesday next week, a week from now, I can show you guys a bit how to do a quick backup so that you can then upgrade if you don't have one already. Now, Julie already has it, so it's up to her to. She can go ahead and do it because she already has a backup happening. But Jeannie or anyone who doesn't have one, you should do a backup before you upgrade. Okay.
Do you know, Deanna, if the office
Yes.
is just only open 3 days a week because of the COVID thing? Or are they looking to just eventually close down?
Oh,
Why
no,
are they only
no,
open
no.
so few hours? Because they said
Because of COVID. Yeah, it's because of COVID. You see, they have the same amount of staff as they had before. And a lot of people need to be helped online still. And so they can't help people who are helping online or at home, so they can't be in the office, and people who are in the office are helping in person. So they can't be 100% in both places at the same time. So now they are attending online and at home. But once all of this goes away, one thing that's happening though, that's changing, is that yes, they will be in the person all the time, but they're discovering that so many people can be helped online that they're actually going to work out a way to also be able to keep helping online, which didn't happen before. You had to go in person. So now the whole college is trying to figure out how to keep what was good about online while restoring in-person services. So yeah, but no, it's just they have the same 4 people that they had before, and they can't have them in both places at the same time.
Okay.
So yeah.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know,
And
you
I've
gotta do what
also
you can do.
had a terrible time trying to manage the monitor and the magic mouse and keep the screens separate and work alongside and doing all that. So I didn't try to sign up for level 1.
Okay.
I don't know.
So it's very hard when you have 2 monitors, right? Which is
Yeah.
what you have right now. You
Right.
need to just put your Zoom, drag your stuff over to Zoom in one monitor, and in the other one, just use the computer. That's it. And I know that since you're a beginner with the computers, that is complicated because suddenly things appear in one place or another. Marsha has 2 computers,
Yeah.
and she's like, well, I'm sharing this one, I'm sharing that one. And so she's figured it out. But basically,
They jump
before
around.
you had a hard time seeing me and seeing your computer. Now that you have 2 monitors, you can see me on one and you're still seeing your computer. And that's really the only goal, to see
Yeah.
me on one screen and not have my computer cover your entires, because before you were just seeing me talking and you couldn't see anything else. The fact that now you see me talking and you see your computer, that's really all you needed to do. Now that you did that,
No, that's, yeah, I don't quite have that either. I'm afraid to X out of Zoom because then I think I'm Xing out completely, but on my computer, it says Zoom. And then on top of that, it says Mac OS Big Sur. I just left it like that. And sometimes you're not audible. I mean, you're not seeable, you're just audible on the monitor. So
yeah,
have
because when I
no
share my
idea.
screen, I disappear, and that's normal. You should be learning how to use your computer, not seeing my face. So ideally, you'll see much less of me and more of my computer. So you shouldn't be seeing my face all the time, ever. In fact, the more you see my face, the less I'm showing you how to use your Mac. So ideally, you don't see my face much. So that's not a problem. What you want to see is the screen that I'm sharing, right? So it's fine if I disappear. If I share my screen like that, which I'm not sharing my screen, that's what you should be seeing, because then I'll be teaching you how to do this. As long as you see that on one screen and your own computer on the other, that's my goal. I don't want you to see my smiling or non-smiling face. I want you to see that thing, which right now is showing you my entire screen. And then I want your other monitor to be showing you your own computer. Is that happening? Do you see me? Not me, but do you see
No, I
my?
see you in giant, large, and then what you're sharing, screen sharing in little.
Okay, so
So-
then you can, okay, so that you can change. There's a line in between those two, right?
Yeah,
And you can put your mouse on that line and grab it and drag it over to the other, like drag it over and make my face really tiny and make what I'm showing really big. So there's a line between my face and what I'm showing.
yeah, I
And
see
you put your
that.
mouse on that, grab it and drag
And
it
it's
so that you
giving
make
me
my
a
face tiny.
crossed arrow.
Yeah. So
Okay,
click
now I'm getting it finally.
and dragging
Yeah.
it. And now you can see what I'm sharing really big and my face really small, because my face is inconsequential. You really don't need to see me. You need to see what I'm sharing.
Okay, I do got that now.
Cool. And then you would look at your own monitor and try to do that same thing that I'm doing there. So your own monitor would be your other computer. And now you go to that one and you go to your Apple and open up your system preferences, and then you'll be in the same thing that I'm showing you here.
I guess, okay.
So then you go to your little Apple on your monitor and go to system preferences and open this window. And now you are doing on your computer the same thing I'm doing on the other one. Does that make sense now?
It does. That's what I'm struggling with, or I'll get that system preferences up and then,
And then when I'm showing something else, like right now, look at the big monitor. If I say, go ahead and click on Energy Saver. Well, I don't even know if you have Energy Saver. Let's look one that you do have. Say if I say go to software update.
actually do have. Energy
Then you
Saver.
goes in yours. Okay, then click on Energy Saver and you did that. So basically you're imitating on that small window what I'm doing on your big window. And that's the ideal. Now you can see me giving you the sample and then you imitate it on the other one. So as long as you can set it up this way, which you just did, then you can keep following the classes. Okay, it's up to you whether you sign up or not. It's not like I don't need you to be there. I just want to not discourage you from being there, because you still have a lot to learn, and I do believe it might be useful for you. Bye, Vera. Thank you. See you on Monday.
And it's going to be online. Yeah.
Yeah, next in the spring, sorry, in the winter, the
January.
called
it's
the
gonna
spring
be in
center, the
person.
spring session, it'll be in person. But then you'll have the problem that you'll be learning on the computers at school, and then you'll come home and it might look
Yeah.
different at home. But so I think that both options are good. They'll be able to help you in person. But the whole goal isn't for me or for your husband to help you, is for you to do it yourself. So I think this thing that you have set up right now, where on one screen you see me and on the other you do it, is the best way for you to learn right now. So I would encourage you to
Okay.
sign up, but you don't have to. I just don't, I don't want to push you to sign up. I also don't want to discourage you, because I think that now
Yeah.
that you got your second monitor, you're much better set up than you were this whole last few weeks. I think you're
Right.
much more ready to move forward now. Okay.
Wait, all right.
All right, guys, I do need to go. So unless there's any other burning question, I will see you on
Thank you,
Monday.
Diane.
You're welcome. Bye, Barbara. Bye, Patricia.
Bye.
All
Goodbye.
right, bye, Charmaine. I hope to
Yeah.
see you.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to see me, you need to send me an email and an assigned form, because otherwise, or you can go to in person with the signed form.
An
'Cause
assigned
otherwise,
form.
well, I sent an email with a form that you
Oh,
need to download. And that one you need to fill out because the class is full, so they won't let you sign up unless you have my signature at this point.
Oh, is
I
that
don't
for
know.
the iPhone class?
The iPhone, no, for the Mac, for whatever the class that's coming up from the Mac.
Yeah,
For the
I don't
Mac
know how
level
to
one.
download. I don't know how to download.
But I'm sure your husband does. Just go to my email and click on the link there.
Well, I think I'm in it. I guess I better check, huh?
I can tell you in a minute if you're in it or not. I'm getting in there. I can go to class management. You're MacOS level 1, and I can tell you whether you're there. Barbara
No, no,
Walsh.
no.
Yes, you're
I'm
signed
in
up,
there?
Barbara.
Okay, good.
Mhm. And I sent
Okay.
an email yesterday inviting you, telling you the info about macOS level 1. So if you got it, you're in because you're in it. So you, Charmaine, didn't get it because you're not in it. Okay.
Oh,
If you want to get in it, I sent an email yesterday,
yeah,
and there's a link that you can download in that email. Ask your husband for help with that. And
okay.
then you can either print it out if you have a printer, or you can fill it out online. Your husband might know how to fill it out online. If not, just go in person to the office and tell them that I gave permission. And then I can send, I'd have to be available to give them verbal permission over the phone or something, because they need a signature, but I don't know if you go in person, how we do that. They can probably call me and I can confirm that you have permission or something like that. I don't know.
Diane,
Okay.
if,
Okay.
All right.
can I
Okay.
ask you a computer question?
Quick
When
one,
I got
'cause
my
it's
new
really late.
computer, I didn't get the big keyboard. I got the little keyboard, and I got this little tiny pad, that
Yeah.
you use your
Yeah.
finger on. If I were to get a stylus, could I write on that little pad? Or do I
You
need?
mean, let me stop my share. Do you mean, a pad like this one? It's not so
Yeah,
tiny.
it's like that, and I've seen its box down in the cupboard, and I'm using.
It's not tiny, it's huge. And can you write on it? Well, as
I'm
much as you can.
using this keyboard.
Yeah, that's not even the small keyboard. That's the extended
No,
keyboard. The one I have this is the
I-
small one.
Right, and it's down in the cupboard too. But I thought
Oh.
if I got the stylus, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make I wanted to write my name, a signature, and make a
Mhm.
stamp.
You know what? I do not know the answer to that. I do not know if I really don't know if
I could go down.
if
and
the
back.
trackpad is sensitive to a stylus. I don't know that. I don't know if the trackpad is sensitive to the stylus. Sorry to
Well, that's okay.
say. I don't know.
There's a new little pad and pen out I saw on. Oh,
I mean
forget.
Apple. I mean, I have the Wacom. This one, yes, it's
It's
sensitive.
Wacom. It's a new inexpensive Wacom.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
it's got a pen and a pad. It's small.
More inexpensive than $70. Wow.
It's like $79.
Oh, okay. So that's the
I
one I
think.
have. That's the one I've always had. Yeah, it's 79. It's this one. But mine is old by now. But yeah, it's the basic setup. That's what I've always had. And that's what I use for Photoshop, Illustrator. And yes, you can use it to write. It's still clunkier than a pen, but yeah, you can certainly write with it much better than you would with a mouse or with
I could write longhand and then make a stamp of my signature then.
Yeah,
In
mhm.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
See you
Yeah,
next
that's
Monday.
how I have my signature in there. Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
see you
too.
on Monday.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks. Bye.